Let's get started.
Here we go. Now let's get it all in perspective. We did it like that, and now we do it like this.
Do not attempt to adjust your dial. I'm transmitting live. Yo,
Let's get down to business.
Now let's get it all in perspective. We did it like that, and now we do it like this.
for the underground world, every street and borough.
You may learn something.
You are now listening to the Joe Rogan Experience with Chico, Simon, Komar, and your host, Matt Flo.
Welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience. My name is Matt Floyd, joined as always by Kamar
Welcome to the party.
and Simon.
Welcome to reality.
Keep that fucking mic away. No, I'm kidding. What we do here is very simple. The three of us have listened to every episode of the Joe Rogan Experience this week. We're going to rate each episode as well as the week on a scale of 1 to 5 Jamie Vernons. We're going to talk about each guest, the talking points, give our opinions, this, that, and the next. First, Kamar's going to read off the patrons, and welcome to Season 3, bitches.
Thank you, Brother Matt. There are no Patreons this week.
Oh, yeah, it was a rough week.
Wah, wah.
But a lot of people have said nice things about the three-year anniversary and the 3-year special. And for those wondering, that is more typical of what a post-Joe is like. We get a little wild, a little reckless. And, of course, there's the 59 This Did Not Age Wells, plus the moon debate.
It really showed me from an ad standpoint how I have to be very careful about what we release.
The one eats the other.
I told you. I fucking told you too, right? I said that.
It's like putting two of the wrong fish in a tank.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Anyway.
man. We do it for the fans, not
Yeah,
for the
no,
man.
I knew we would hit the ad number anyway, so it didn't matter. That's why I was fine releasing it. But it does remind me in the future that I got to be real fucking cautious. Kamar.
And all that being said, there's still an amazing hardcore group of Patreons. Thank you guys for sticking with us.
Fuck yeah. Thanks to the Patreon.
All this time.
Even though we got no one new this week, we don't care. Kamar, how was your week?
Slow week, except on Friday, I performed at the club. And I just want to say thank you to all the listeners that came out to the show.
How many listeners came out?
0.
Lots. But the show had like 120 people.
That's nice. So they're back to full capacity?
No, capacity is 180.
That's pretty close.
Trust me, it's the biggest audience I performed to in the last 2 years, and it felt so different. Like I did really well, but I do an impression that isn't really an impression, and normally it's just sort of like for break the ice, but I got an applause break. Like they were on fire.
Your impressions are terrible.
I know, but these people wanted anything.
Gotcha.
What impression, pray tell, got an applause break?
I do an impression of the weatherman.
Which weatherman?
Yourself?
A weatherman. I'm not going to say anymore. I'm not stepping on my bits, but anyways, it killed. But the funniest line of the night went to, there was this group of like super hot chicks, like in their 20s.
Yeah.
And their dudes or whatever.
Yeah.
Super hot.
Super hot
drunk.
dudes too?
Everyone was just dime
of
pieces.
course.
And they got thrown out for being disruptive because, hot girls, like, they just
Yeah,
can't
it's their
stay
world.
for
It's their world.
an hour and a
Yeah.
half. And this super hot girl came up to my buddy and was like, excuse me, do you have a cigarette? And when this is a nice guy, he's just like, no, sorry, I don't smoke. She goes, grow up. And she didn't know she was saying the funniest thing ever, but it was hilarious.
That's fucking great.
And then on the second show,
Grow up.
I was feeling myself because the first show went so well.
Uh-oh.
So I did some, I still did great, but did a totally different set, a little more
I take it you had some drinks too?
risque. I might have had a beer or two. And after the show, this girl came up to me and said my comedy was offensive and it wasn't funny, and like to do better and to try to punch up more. And I was like, yeah, sure. And she was like, no, I'm serious. Like, I need you to know. And
Yeah, I get it, sweetheart. Fuck off.
as she's saying this, people are coming by like, great show, man. Thank you. Like, it wasn't.
But you see what's funny is you remember that one. Like you just said there was a bunch of people giving you high fives, but you're only concentrating on the one fucking twat.
I don't know. Like, it may be the first time this has happened to me, but it was a young white chick. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, thank you very much. It's like, no, but like, you don't have to make fun of people. And like,
You don't have to go to comedy.
I was like, you're welcome that I offended you. Like, you got to experience that. It was surreal.
You
but
must feel like Dave Chappelle.
it was super fun.
Yeah, you're pretty much on the same level now.
Well, I was wondering if people feel emboldened because that takes a lot of balls to do that. You know what I mean?
Did I tell you that I tried to get tickets for Chappelle in Toronto to the movie? The only tickets left were $1,200.
That's
Hey.
to see a movie?
It's also Dave Chappelle performing with other people, so you get to see his movie, which is getting great reviews, even though he doesn't want people reviewing it, which is funny. It's getting good reviews, and it's like a live performance. But either way,
You're going to see Dave Chappelle live if you pay $1,200.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I've already seen him live, so there's no fucking way.
Humble brag.
I don't think there's anything that I'd pay $1,200 for.
Well, Simon and I found out yesterday that I'm in Vegas for the last UFC of the year, and I might have to pay $1,200 to go see that.
Is that what it's at already?
No, I don't know, but I'm just assuming it won't be cheap. I assume it's
you're
already
gonna be
sold
there.
out.
Get on it now.
Yeah,
If you want to go the night of, just like a real fucking gangster.
that's what I'm saying. But I have to go alone too. Like Mary wouldn't want to come. I wouldn't want to spend whatever I have to spend on her ticket for her not to give a shit.
So you have to rent her movies on a TV.
No, she's in Vegas. She'll do
yourself?
something with my mom, gamble or something. But either way, fuck.
Simon,
Simon,
that'd be quite the story.
are you done, Kamar? That was your week.
It's good to be back. Thank you, everyone. I forgot how funny I was.
I wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to step on your feet there.
I
Sorry,
forgot how funny.
Simon. How was your week, sir?
My week was fine. I'll just check my hand here. Let me see. Oh, I wanted to show you something now. I hope you have a good lawyer.
What? Matt did something to you?
No, he fell going up my stairs. This
Do you
fuck.
see that?
Is your foot really on camera right now? That's
This just got
disgusting.
taken off. We just got a straight.
What, under your big gross toe?
Yeah, you see how
What's
swollen
going on
it
there?
is?
Yeah.
Looks like you broke your toe.
Yeah, so, well, here's the thing. Not usually a huge deal, but after you hurt yourself so badly and then the person says, yeah, that happens to me all the time, I'm pretty sure that, like, in a court of law, if you know you have a faulty thing and you're still letting people use it, you're very...
Nothing's
think
faulty.
that was an
There's nothing
admission of-
faulty
that was
about
an
the
admission of
stairs, though.
guilt?
No.
Admission
You know
of
what's
guilt,
funny? He's
exactly.
talking about the admission of guilt. As he comes down the stairs, I say to him, I thought you were going to sue me. And he says out loud, I'm not going to sue you. And then one day later, this litigious
I
cunt.
didn't realize I was so injured. Anyways, yeah, no, just, I mean...
You didn't realize he
I'm
was
not
trying
going
to
to
cover
sue
it
you
up.
this time, but you might want to
right.
look into something there, man, because those things are dangerous.
Yeah. They're
Dangerous.
razor blade stairs
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
doesn't-
They don't fuck around.
They're there to make sure that you don't slip,
Yeah.
but then they just fucking chop your toe off.
You missed a step.
No, he has these. So imagine this is the edge of the stair.
There's like a metal
There's
edge.
like a metal edge to it. So I like slipped because I was wearing my socks. You should have to supply everyone with slippers. That's what I was thinking, Matt. If you want to keep, like, I don't want you to have to do too much work, but at least have slippers for people.
You could bring
By the
indoor
way, Kamar, the
shoes.
metal edges are specifically to help you grip the stairs because they're like a laminate hardwood. But clearly,
Clearly,
Simon
it's not
can't
just
use
me
stairs.
because
It
Matt
happens
says it
all
happens
the
to him all
time,
the
yeah.
time.
I think I said that to make him feel better, but
Admission of guilt.
whatever.
Sounds guilty.
All right, next.
Did you have my stairs written there? Is that what you had on your written
No,
on your hand?
I have written lawsuit. So that was what was going to remind me of that.
Are you telling him formally right now?
I feel like every Jew has a note on their hand that says lawsuit. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's actually a tattoo.
That's what they gave.
Oh, whoa.
That's what they
Why
gave.
bo-
Why
That's what they
bother
gave them in
writing it every
Auschwitz.
day?
It's just a tattoo that said lawyer.
I listened to this thing all about, this was so interesting. So it's all about these elephants in Africa. Whoa, what's going on, Connor?
I was getting into it. I was
No,
listening
no.
to
His
elephants.
face is. We asked you how your week was, not what you watched. It's very post.
This is actually something I listened to.
Oh, my bad.
Elephants in
You're
Africa.
just letting that burn away, eh?
Well, you gave me this weed, so yeah, it's free weed. I'm letting it do whatever I fucking want it to do. If I want it to burn, I will let it
What a
burn.
jerk off. Anyway, so these elephants, it was a species that they thought had gone extinct for so many years. I swear to God. For so many years. And this guy decided he was going to find them, which he ended up doing. But they had managed to stay hidden for a really long time. And this is the world's biggest land mammal, the elephant. They called them the gray ghost. And these things, I didn't know this about elephants, but their feet, this is all elephants, but anyways, their feet are made like to almost be totally silent when they walk. Just it's like built into their genetic structure or whatever.
Have you seen their bones of their feet?
I
They look like humans.
I
Foot
went,
inside
They
all
have
the
human foot
meat.
inside. Yeah.
I went and looked at it today. Yeah, it's
weird, huh?
I was listening to it.
That's
Anyways,
because they're so big. They would make such a big noise. They'd be easy to hunt or track.
maybe, yeah, quite possibly. Anyways, very silent walkers. Great hiders. I didn't know this, but who would have thought that an elephant is a great hider? But they can like not lie down, but they can like really
Crouch,
get
yeah.
down low
Prone.
and then blend into their surroundings. Very interesting. I mean, this
That actually makes elephant in the room a much more interesting saying. Because it's like there and it's big, but it might kind of be hidden. Right?
yeah, I see what you're saying.
No, you don't.
Anyways,
Whatever.
But you extrapolate that to you
Like,
know
actually, to the gift shop.
Sure.
a species in North America, let's say, that you know.
Is this going to Bigfoot? Did you go?
I'm
did
not
you
go-
find a way?
I'm not going
You found a
anywhere.
way to go from elephants to
I am
Bigfoot?
not going anywhere. I'm just pointing out how these giant creatures can go totally unnoticed.
No, they're not unnoticed at all.
This particular species of elephants was thought to be extinct. That's what I'm saying. So they were unnoticed.
Thought to, but they found them, right?
They found them, yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, and something else about elephants that I didn't know that I just found out today. So they bury their bones. They like literally bury their bones, and then they'll go back to these sites to like
More than the dead.
mourn their dead. And sometimes they'll go back, and the guy was saying that they'll take one bone from the like they'll dig up one of the bones, take it with them. It's just really interesting. And what they also do, they found out from about elephants, is that elephants will also bury human bones. So if they were to find human bones in the forest, they would bury them just like they would bury their own bones. And there was this helicopter that crashed in Africa somewhere, and all the people died. And they not only buried all of those bones, but the helicopter also.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
wanna
it's
save the
very
elephants now?
crazy.
I saw a video of these elephants that had been like rescued by this old South African dude. And every year on like, I think it was on the day that he rescued them, they would trek like 100 miles to go see him. And then even when he died, they would still make the trek
Crazy.
every year.
Yeah, crazy.
Elephants
You've
are
seen
fun.
one.
Elephants?
You have.
Yeah.
You haven't.
I was
Seen
At a
an
zoo, maybe?
elephant?
in Thailand, Kamar,
Yes,
they're
I
fucking
know.
everywhere.
I've seen
I have seen an elephant. I've seen an elephant at Busch Gardens, actually.
We rode one and I felt not great about it. Mary was crying.
Anyways, it just goes to show you, you know, you will never find, or very, very rarely ever find elephant bones also. So just another thing that you could extrapolate to a giant hominid
He's
creature in
this
North
is his
America.
inner thought is like, they're eating this elephant shit up.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
Yeah. They don't even know. Let's
no idea.
Yeah. Shift to Bigfoot. You know who you're like? You're like Pat Barry. Okay, now Trevor. You just raid over to Bigfoot. Okay, now Bigfoot.
Something like that.
Fucking
An hour and a half
dickhead.
hour, I'll bring up what?
And,
You think no one, bones just can't disappear?
There-
Don't you remember the elephants? That's a fact.
There's a really interesting, in Africa, they're Bigfoot. Every country,
Everyone.
they all have their own
Can't be a coincidence.
Bigfoot, and it all goes way back into the lore of the first inhabitants of those places. Like it's right as far back as they can date. Are you practicing for video games or something? No. So theirs over there is called the Otang. And this guy said that while he was
He doesn't even
looking
care. He's just going full Bigfoot now. This
for
is
these elephants, he found out about this Otang creature, and the accounts sound so similar to what goes on here. Like, it really, the pieces are all falling into place, fellas.
no, they're not.
Why would the same story, different stories be so
Lawsuit,
similar? Yeah.
elephants, and yeah.
How was your fucking
we were
week?
supposed to play poker this week. That was too bad. It got canceled.
He should pay everyone.
If you get closer to that fucking mic, I'm gonna
You
fucking
canceled
drop
day
kick
of?
you. Yes, he canceled day of.
Day of is
But
weird.
my big problem isn't. Listen, I'm just so happy that he was willing to do it. You
Did
know
he?
what I
No,
mean?
but did he
he
initiate
reached
it, or
out
did
to
someone get-
he reached out to everyone.
That's
Kamar,
fucking weird.
I call you all. I organize a dinner, and night of, I cancel. Like it's just mostly because I was so excited. I was so upset. You know what I mean? Anyways, we ended up watching the fights. They were great. All my bets lost. That's my week.
The funniest is that Simon would have gone to poker and within a half hour been angry he was there and would have left early.
You had the best night possible.
I didn't have to work the next day. Today, it was. I was all set to go. I had rolled sativa joints. I was staying. I was good, man.
Yeah, he stayed.
Riding the
he
strains.
stayed for the long haul.
How's your week, Matt?
My week was fine. We have a website. We got some merch. If you want a fucking hoodie, a t-shirt, go check it out. We got some goddamn journals. And I got to tell you, the way this is going, this website will not be up long. I absolutely hate this.
I thought you were going the other way.
No.
This is
I did too.
this is the
We're gonna be
beginning
fake.
of
No.
a beautiful
No.
relationship.
No, I can see why people hire other people to do all this. I didn't know enough going in. Like the fact that I didn't know this, but the fact that I have to pay for everything up front out of my account. Because I hooked up our PayPal, but it was like, no, you need to hook up like a physical like Visa or a debit card. So I hooked mine up thinking like, whatever, no big deal. And now every time someone buys something, they take that money out of my account because I have to pay for the product first.
But it's your personal.
Yes.
That's not cool.
It's fine. I'm working it out. But it, just in general, this is a fucking nightmare. I hate this website. Get your merch now. It's not going to last fucking long.
Or we'll get someone to take it over.
No, or what we might do is maybe we'll just throw it up every couple months. Simon will do some designs. I'll throw the website up for like a month or two. You know what I mean? Maybe that'll be the way because I hate this.
We'll get the merch so he won't hate it.
I am not a business person. That is clear. Anyway, my week was fine. The fights were great. Fights were fucking incredible. What are we talking about? Football today was a goddamn nightmare. I don't think any of us got
Football's
any
the best
picks
sport
right.
in the world, though.
Fights were incredible. Joe was back at the fights after a long hiatus.
Yeah.
He's part of it.
It was a wild week in the Joe Rogan world, though. We'll get to all that in the post, Joe, unfortunately. I don't think you're going to hear a lot about it.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
What are you talking? Yes, you do. You posted a photo of Aaron Rodgers
Oh.
on our, which, by the way, I don't care that you did, other than the fact that you're a Lions fan and I'm a Vikings fan, and you posted like our arch nemesis's photo.
It was more because he got busted for lying.
I understand.
Did he have his thumbs up?
He did.
He
That
did,
is
of course.
All that matters, my friend. That is all that matters.
That's interesting.
That you can put up Hitler with his thumbs up. Like,
Methed out Hitler, two thumbs up. Kamar, do you want to go over the guest list real quick?
Are we going to rate the week?
No, we go over the guest list first, and then
My
we rate
bad.
it. It says right there on the whiteboard in giant guest list.
I'm new
rate
here.
week, start show.
you're so stupid, Kamar.
We started the week
Fucking
with,
idiot.
with a weird surprise. 728, Ari Shaffir, Shane Gillis, and Mark Norman, which is sort of like it was a substitute for Sober October.
Kind of, yeah, I guess, yeah.
It was the complete opposite, but it
Yeah.
was still that weird chaos. 1729, living legend Gilbert Gottfried. And finish off by 1730, Cameron Haynes. I think this could have been an MMA podcast.
Yeah.
It could have been.
It was mostly MMA. When they weren't sucking each other's cocks, it was an MMA, yeah.
But I could have done without that one, but we'll get into it.
Well, let's rate the week. Simon? You look like...
I'll go last. I got to think about it.
Oh, okay. Kamar, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'll give it a 2.5.
I'll give it a, I guess 2. You said 2.5?
I did.
Yeah, I think that math basically works out for me.
I'll give it a 1.75.
Wow.
There's the honesty.
Simon hating the week. Hating the week.
Prove me wrong.
Easy there, Crowder.
Prove me wrong.
All right, well, let's get into it, Kamar.
1728, Ari Shaffir, Mark Norman, Shane Gillis.
The podcast we didn't know we needed.
You feel that way? Pardon me.
If you take Joe out of this episode, it was incredible.
Someone wrote that they thought Joe was raining on the parade,
Yeah.
but he seemed like he was loving it. It was like, we got to do this every week. I mean, that's obviously alcohol talking.
I didn't see him raining on the parade. I just found it very hard to listen to because everybody was cutting each other off, and it was like too many people talking at once. And
No, there were so many great zingers, so much good ball breaking.
It was hilarious, and I thought it was interesting that I wish they really had timed it, that they were there early enough to screw up Lewis's event or whatever? Like, it was sort of on the table. Because when they're saying this is coming out tomorrow, their show is tomorrow. So it was futile, but the spirit was there to sort of screw with Lewis. But it just ended up being a huge plug for Skankfest South. And Joe's endorsement, you know what I mean?
They've already sold out Skankfest South, I'm sure. I don't think they need to sell tickets at this point.
I know, but just him talking about it, it made it feel like it's a thing now. It's what is it, third year?
If Joe went and did it, then it would really be a thing.
I'm sure Joe will do it unless, I mean, obviously he had to be at the fights. So there's no choice to do it. I was worried that a new trend that there's a lot of death being shown. You know, the last one we watched the boxer, the guy in this one, Ari.
I think he's becoming more like your mom's house, you know? He wants to have more interaction.
Well, it felt like when it's the three comedians, it's sort of like throw the skeet in the hair, which is what morbid, tasteless, whatever topic you want, and they all just try to shoot it, you know?
Skeet in the hair?
Skeet shooting.
Skeet in the air.
Yes. Skeet.
Gotcha.
You understood, sort of.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean?
Yes, no, I understand.
Who do you think was the funniest? Because they all sort of had that, they were trying to one-up each other and go.
Probably Mark Norman. Shane Gillis seems to always just get hammered.
Shane Gillis got very hammered.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, so hammered. And for the first little while, he wasn't drinking. And then you could see he was like getting edgy. And then he just fucking.
But did you watch it?
I did. Most of it.
In the beginning, he was like teetotaling a whiskey, hoping Jamie wasn't switching the camera on to him. Because he's a huge guy.
He's a big guy, yeah.
He's a really big guy, and he's nervous. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I felt like. He was just beefing up his
Or he's an alcoholic.
liquid courage. It seemed like he was sort of timid at the beginning. Mark Norman. Shaffir is just over the top. Like, I wish there was a warning sometimes when he screams.
Ari?
Yeah. But he doesn't give you a heads up at all.
No.
This is honestly, though, you didn't think this was like a good, just refreshing, like COVID didn't come up too much. It was just three great comedians.
There was something about this one that, I don't know, it just didn't work for me.
I was thinking this. Skankfest South was on that weekend. There's so many other people, but then I realized it was in Houston.
Yeah.
Like, if it was in Austin, I would have rather Bobby Kelly if he was available. Like, do you know what I mean? I wanted a comedian, but just different sort of thing.
Do you think they really wanted to sleep at Joe's house?
Well, Shane seems like the guy who thinks that's doable. Because, like, Doug Stanhope will you let you sleep in his house.
Yeah, I know, but
I mean,
like,
if you're down with him.
like at first I thought for sure they were joking, but then they kind of kept asking, like they were hoping he would like just buckle and say, "Oh yeah, you guys can stay."
What I love is that Joe lives in like an $8 million mansion in Austin. He was like, I don't know, maybe we could like throw down some blankets in the gym. I was like, dude,
Because he doesn't want them
I know he
staying
didn't.
at
I
his
know he didn't
house.
want them there. I
Fuck.
just thought that was
Go
hilarious.
stay
Like,
at a hotel. You guys all make tons of money. Like, what
And
is going on
he's-
here?
He was so drunk, he was saying he's willing to fly them.
he flies everyone in.
But I think he said open invitation.
Yeah.
I'll fly you in whenever you want. I don't even think Tom Papa has that.
He said, "I'll fly you and your girls in anytime you want." Yeah, no, listen, it definitely had its moments. It definitely had its moments, and it also had its moments of, like, I was cringing at certain points, so I don't know what to do
They
with
pushed
that
the
episode.
envelope. There was lots of racist jokes, or Shane Gillis is like the bully guy, you know, like pussy or whatever, like when he made fun of Ari for having to save the park.
Yeah.
Sure, but that's his shtick, you know what I mean? I felt Mark Norman was the weakest of this. When he's by himself, because it's like he comes in with a joke, two jokes behind sometimes, like trying to keep up, because he's not because Ari was sort of the dominant of the three in the.
Well, it's because Ari and Joe are best friends, so Ari knows he's like, I can say
Ari-
whatever the fuck I want.
He's also, like, the funniest. I don't know. He's the most established.
I don't know if he's the funniest of
No?
the three.
Okay.
I don't know. They talked about Meta being scared of that.
And I think they should be scared of that because the more, like, the way he's doing it is just so fucking. It just feels sneaky. This whole, like, oh, yeah, we're just switching over, don't worry about it. It's just a whole new thing.
That's exactly what Ari said. Well, no, Ari said he thought it was just to remove liability.
That's so they
from
can
Facebook.
remove liability. I mean, maybe that's what they're doing. That seems like in a court of law, a judge would be able to see the obvious connection, right?
But I think Jamie pointed out that this cannot be seen as like the internet in that it's one metaverse. There'll be other iterations of metaverses created by other people. Like just because they're starting wherever they're starting here, that doesn't mean it's...
No,
that's
but
the
look
one
at something
spot.
like Twitter. Twitter is its own universe.
It
Nothing
is.
has ever been able to rival it. It's usually the first one that gets in there, and especially if it's owned by, like, obviously Facebook, who know exactly what they're doing because they've built two previous, not quite the same.
What
but
are the two?
Instagram and Facebook.
They didn't build Instagram. They bought it.
Well, they made it into what it is, though.
No, I don't.
I,
think they just
for
bought
me,
it
they bought it. I mean,
$1
listen,
billion.
they made it a huge money-making machine with advertising and stuff. But Instagram was fairly well established. I mean, keep in mind, they bought it after like 18 months for $1 billion.
But there is like...
Point is, you're getting stuck on a detail. That's not even what I was talking about.
I understand what you're saying, but yeah.
There's still Google, Amazon, and Facebook, or Meta now, right?
Google and Amazon aren't the same thing as Facebook. They're different. They're different monsters. You know what I mean?
But Google is YouTube. Amazon is Twitch. Like,
Okay.
it funnels down.
I got you.
But there's three players, so there could be three metaverses. And who knows if Apple doesn't have a metaverse on the way, or Elon. I probably because it's coming from Facebook, the metaverse is a bad thing or whatever, but I don't think it's a thing or going to be the thing.
Immersive internet is obviously going to be a thing.
On the way.
though.
I just
They're
don't think there'll
all-
be a dominant player like that.
I mean, okay. We would say the same thing about YouTube. Why is there only one YouTube? There are 8 billion people in the world, and yet it's still the only one.
It's interesting that we watched that because I used to watch, what was Joe on way back? Vimeo.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to look at Vimeo like I looked at YouTube and the functionality of it. I mean, obviously YouTube have more, but it felt like it was a thing and it just went the way of the dodo bird.
What I was going to say, Simon, is you don't like... I mean, Facebook's good at buying up other companies, so I would agree with you there, but I think, I don't know. I kind of believe that, like, companies just come out of fucking
TikTok.
nowhere. Companies come out of absolutely nowhere and become behemoths, not overnight, but in a decade it can happen where something comes along and crushes Facebook somehow.
Oh, I mean, yeah, shit. Anything's possible. We're talking about the metaverse.
But keep in mind, even the metaverse, like,
Metaverse.
but
We can't speak of it like
well,
I'm
they
saying,
coined that term metaverse,
Sure, but
so it would have to be
Facebook
called
did?
something else. Yeah.
but hear me out.
I don't know about that.
Okay, this metaverse thing, like, think about video games. It's the perfect example. It used to be like Xbox versus PlayStation or Nintendo or whatever the fuck it was. Now, every game online is cross-platform. So it doesn't even matter. Like now you have an Xbox, I have a PlayStation, you're on PC. We can all play the same game online. So like Kamar's saying, if Google has their own, again, different name, but metaverse, there's no reason they can't all be somewhat compatible, right?
Sure.
I bet you Disney's going to make a Marvel metaverse. I just thought of that now. I haven't been thinking about that. But do you know what I mean?
Even them, Disney's probably like, think about Disney. They could just recreate either the parks they already have or just make the best. Like
Netflix will try to do it if they're still around.
I mean, it's like Joe mentioned this week. He was like, do you think people would actually pay for like a virtual seat to the UFC? I don't know. Like, think about it. If you could put on a virtual reality headset and get front row seats like beamed into you.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, we were going to talk about that to the next one, but it doesn't matter. That they asked that question. It exists. Like I know a guy who does that.
What do you mean?
Who does virtual shows like on VR. I mean, it's crude, but it's in some way, shape, or form, a rough part of it is happening right now.
You know what? The UFC is probably a bad example because those good seats, they're not actually that good from a viewpoint. They're good from the sense that you're like, I'm beside all the champs or, you know what I mean? Basketball's a good example. Like if you could VR sit courtside, those are the best seats, hands down.
and just the perspective and the experience. Yeah, I mean, inevitable.
I agree.
And you'd probably pay for it like you're paying to watch the game, like a ticket.
Or it could be like a monthly subscription type deal.
You wouldn't illegally stream it, like it'd be,
yeah.
and it'd probably be wrapped up in an NFT or something. Do you know what I mean? There could be season tickets. Those would be worth even more than the tickets. Oh, that's crazy thing.
Well, I mean, hold on. Like Top Shots, the NFT, the guys that do the NFTs for the NBA, they already have deals with all the teams where like they give people tickets. So what you're saying is not outlandish. It's not like it could be if you have a specific NFT, but I mean that's just another topic.
I just don't think you should be. Obviously, you should be worried about Facebook, but there's going to be other metaverses, and usually the first one is like not the best one.
I mean, it could go either way. This is literally a 50-50 thing. Like I said, if a better one came along, there's a good chance that Facebook just buys them up.
There's nothing you could say here or do that would make you ever check out Metaverse, eh?
No, I just
Couldn't hear a thing about like, so I mean, it's the cool, you've got to try it. Like, no, I know where that comes from.
I mean, maybe I would try it. I don't know. The real fucking deal breaker for me is when you have to implant something into yourself. That's like that.
Yeah, but we've discussed this.
Invisible line that
We've discussed
unwilling
this.
to cross.
No, that's a visible line. Our generation.
You know what I mean.
Like a barcode.
No, not like a barcode. He means like a chip in his neck, like a tracking device or something that could.
I mean,
something you put in your dog.
I mean, like Neuralink.
Yes.
Where they want to attach into me
Cyborg.
via my spinal column or something into my brain.
Now, what if it could save your life, though?
Of course, I would do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I would do that.
Like I was going to say, like if you're in a bad car accident.
I understand. Yeah.
And like something happened and they were like, listen, you would definitely opt for that versus nothing.
I would.
Even if they came in and it was Mark Zuckerberg himself being like.
I would give it its thought.
I would, for sure. No doubt. I don't care what. Listen, if it's saving my life, I don't care what fucking company made it. Put it in me and let's try it.
I mean, again, it depends, I guess, on what your view on what comes next is, you know?
I don't, like I said, what comes next never affects the generation. Like the old people when we were super young,
Outliers.
the old people when we were super young that were all worried about what the future held, they're not around anymore. So it didn't even matter what they were worried
saying
about.
What happens when you die, that will depend on whether you're willing to like what lengths you'll go to extend your life, you know? If
like
you
that
truly believe that the next place you're going is fucking awesome, maybe you don't need to drop
Expedite the process.
things into your brain to.
There's that old comic strip where it's the guy with the silica pack and it says "Don't eat," and then he eats it, and the person beside him is like, "No, no, no!" And then the next comic, he's like waking up from a coma.
That's the comic?
Yeah, the idea is that like there's all these things in the world. It's like there's that classic human experiment. Don't push the button.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like we're told not to do all these things and we just take them at face value. But maybe if you eat the silica pack, you don't die. You just wake up from this nonsense. It's not a comic in the sense that you're supposed to laugh like a fucking Jughead and Archie.
I don't think anybody laughed at Jughead and Archie.
I think if you're like 110, you might have found some,
Yeah, maybe.
right? I mean, there wasn't much back then.
This was not the first podcast for Ari since Kobe, right? Okay.
He was on like a month ago.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think he's been on a couple of times since.
No, only once since
Just
then.
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like a month or two ago.
But he brought up in front of everybody the puppy story.
Yeah.
And I think it's come full circle from it's not making a change telling that story.
No, but I mean, it is still a good reminder that like if your YouTube is just filled with outrageous things, you're doing that. And the argument is like, well, they're curating it for me. They're like, well, no, they're giving you what you want to see.
But what I'm saying is Ari told that to Joe 4 years ago.
Yeah, and it's still
He's told it for 4 years.
Yeah.
This felt like a full circle, sort of like, the puppy thing.
It is true.
It's out there. It's
It is
good.
true, though, because, example, watching my wife's TikTok today, I said, how come you don't have any hot girls doing those weird dances? She's like, because that's not the stuff I look at.
yeah.
I was like, oh, interesting.
You said that out loud, or you thought that and it came out?
No, I said that.
Where's all the girls with big jiggly tits?
Well, because that's what like most of TikTok is. I was like, how come that's not coming up in your feed? All these stupid fucking TikTok dances.
Shows what you were looking at.
I guess so.
Or you got stuck on the first one and just... Anyways, I want to retire the puppy story. We'll see what happens.
There were so many stories I would like to retire. like the
Each pick
redundancy.
one.
If
For me,
you
it's the puppy
if you only listen to like one episode of Joe Rogan
A month.
that's fine because you'll never run into him. But if you listen to any more than that, you are going to hear the same anecdotes over and over.
If someone else had said, when he told them the puppy story, had said like, no way, because I was looking at how knives are made, and all I ever see now is how knives are made. You're right.
You know how knives are made?
No, but I'm saying another person, but it's always the anecdote is always Ari
Yeah.
of how this algorithm. I just want it retired. It doesn't matter. Who am I?
He is right though. Like my YouTube is filled with all the same shit.
It's sort of convenient. Like
It is. It's oh, thank you.
I didn't even know I wanted to watch
Yeah,
that.
great.
I did. Who said that?
I mean, yay and nay, because like, you know, sometimes you want to have a well-rounded
Can I give you a simpler
thing you're looking at, and if they're like only showing you skateboarding videos, you're never going to see anything else, you know?
Well, you've got to get sick of it and then go another direction.
But that's what I'm saying.
And
Once
then
you
it
search
begins.
something and watch it, it then is like, oh, you also like this. Let me give you a more easy example. Spotify is a perfect example. If you listen to music once a week, it gives you a playlist of things you've never listened to on there. And it says here, these are based on what other people who've listened to the music you listen. That's perfect. I'm not
Always
saying
a cool track, right?
they don't knock it out of the park, but if they give me 30, there's probably 4 in there that I throw on some playlist. That is perfect. Like that's where the algorithm is doing nothing but working for you, right?
I mean,
It is what it is.
In
I
a
just want to
way.
retire the puppy story.
in a way, they're still, you know, pointing you in any direction they really want to point you.
Okay, but musically, that's a weird. There's not a lot of political.
There's no money to be made there.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is money. Like it's like payola. Like if they want you to listen to a certain artist, but that's not. It doesn't feel like that's how it works for me because it never gives me like. It knows I like rap, but it knows I don't love like the new mumble rap, so it never gives me any of that. It gives me a lot of like old funk and soul. I don't know, but I think that's a perfect example, and I don't see how Spotify like. What data are they using out of that?
I mean, probably a lot, but I'd rather it's who they're selling it to. Whatever, you don't know what's happening.
But
to
even then, I'm saying they're probably mostly selling data as in like people in this region between this age are listening to this music to
mean,
sell to advertisers, which
I
isn't
don't
that
know.
insidious.
If I had the choice,
yeah.
like if at the beginning when you sign up for the app, it says to you, you know, give us all your data and we'll be able to suggest cool shit to you, or don't give us our data and you're on your own, I'll take the on my own, you know? Just, I don't need them to suggest anything for me. I'm happy to like do the investigation myself. That's
Well, I'm
half
telling
the
you
fun
from-
of the internet.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you from my personal experience, knowing how many good songs I found, I would take the data. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, I guess it depends on what they're doing with it, but I would just assume that they're doing nefarious shit with it. But yeah, you're right. I mean, probably nothing that really affects you. You know, like your day-to-day living.
No, I can't see. I mean, again, everything affects you in some way, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's fine. Your data's important. I get it.
I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know.
Well, if it is, you should just be getting more for it. Ideally,
Well, you're getting free.
Not me. I pay for Spotify.
want more.
Well, here's a good question for you.
Yeah.
If they said pay for Facebook or whatever you're using, that's a bad example, but pay for YouTube, and if you pay, then
He does pay.
you're private. None of your information gets used.
I do pay.
How many people do you think then will actually pay?
Not
and put their money
'cause
where their
everyone
mouth
wants
is, you
to
know?
be public and wants to catch the ride of the algorithm. Like it still can change your life. You know what I mean? A
This is
viral
what I'm
video
saying.
and
I
stuff.
don't think a lot of people would like literally put their money where their mouth is at that point. They would they're happy to, you know, cry outrage, but then willingly give away the same things they're crying outrage about.
Listen, I know that I'm not smart enough to understand where all the insidious angles are that they could be collecting, but like, and YouTube's a different one. I'll stay on the Spotify angle, like them collecting your data. I mean, who would they be selling it to? Advertisers is most likely what I would think, right? So it's not that, to me, that's not that insidious. They're just trying to make money on the back end by saying, like I said, people in this region, in this age, tend to buy this or like this or
They probably don't even do it as you. You're part of a subset
metadata.
of
Yeah.
people.
I mean, I would imagine that you're right, that most of it is being sold for advertising. I think that with Spotify for sure, a lot of it is being sold to the CIA. That's how they write hit songs. I'm being serious, like they're probably buying a lot of that info.
I mean, I would also say
If you want to change I'm sorry, Matt. If you want to change a populace's mind about any given subject,
Politicians are buying
you
it for
need
sure.
to know information on all those different pockets of people, and that is absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
but they have all that info. They don't need to buy it off of.
People's views change. They want to know how many.
Yeah, but my point is the NSA and the CIA have all that info before or as these guys have it. So they wouldn't buy it off them. Right? Like the CIA has access to, I assume, everything within all these companies. If a Russian guy has it, I can't imagine why the CIA wouldn't.
What do you mean?
Well, I just mean there's hackers all over the world that break into these companies digitally all the time.
Well, I just imagine it's like, they have people who work for them who are just as capable as the people who work for the CIA. Like at one point, I mean, I don't even know. You would imagine that the best of the best would trickle towards the government, but I can't imagine that that's really the case anymore, where the big money is on private sector,
Listen, nowadays, if you're super tech
What are
savvy,
you laughing about? Sorry. Man.
nowadays, if you're super tech savvy, you just start a crypto scam. It's like the easiest way to make a quick 10 million. You start some horseshit coin, you pump it up on the internet using TikTokers or YouTubers or Instagrammers, and then you rug pull it.
If you're really lucky, like a guy who owns a car company making spaceships.
Is that illegal though, or is it just immoral?
It's just they haven't figured it out yet. It will be illegal at some point.
I don't know.
It will be. Watch.
No,
It'll be market manipulation. The same way, like I'm telling you that.
That's a
They
good
just
question, though,
haven't
Kamar.
got
I don't
there
believe
yet.
right now it is. I don't believe there's a lot of legislation on crypto.
No, this is what I'm saying. I don't think they're breaking the law at this point because there just aren't the laws in place to break.
There was a huge one the other day, that Squid Game coin. What?
Squib?
No, Squid Game. They had a Squid Game coin.
Of course they did.
There was like a massive rug pull there.
Someone did well. All that to say, I think the puppy talk about YouTube should be retired.
I saw a really cool NFT the other day. It was by, I don't know if you know the artist Deface.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the NFT, it's a bust of the Queen with his little wings on it.
Yeah.
That's his like trademark, and it's got like maybe a skeleton somewhere. I don't know. It's really cool looking. It's like his own take on a Queen bust, and then the NFT is like it. The face is like, going in and out, whatever. It has some animation to it, but you get the bust when you buy it. So you get the work of art and then the NFT, and it's a one of one. That makes the most sense to me.
So tons of people doing that.
I know that totally works for me. I get that you're getting this one of a kind piece of art.
It's also an authentication. The NFT itself.
But they're not
For
bound
the
by,
art.
They're not
Yes.
even, but they're not bound by each other, right? You could sell the art, keep the NFT, sell the NFT, keep the art.
I have
Probably,
no
but the point is
idea.
you would.
I would imagine that you would want both if you were buying it, but I don't know.
I think the point is you're coming around on NFTs.
There's no coming around.
I
NF
just understand why somebody would want to buy that.
I don't think there's coming around. There's going to be terrible NFT projects, and there's going to be great ones. I don't think it's something that's like going to go away.
Like that ape one is crazy to me.
the ape one.
I forget what it's called. It's kind of like the same idea as the money or the dunny, where you have a platform that everyone's working off of. In this case, it's like a cartoon ape from like the bust up.
Okay.
And then artists will do their version of it using that skeleton. You don't know what I'm talking about.
No, but I get it. I
I would have
understand.
known. I would have thought that you would have seen this one. Anyways, and then an artist will do it and they'll bid on it and it'll sell for 150 million ETH or whatever,
150 million ETH.
7 ETH, whatever
Yeah.
it is. And
I still don't understand why you don't try selling some.
He doesn't want to put his money where his mouth is.
No, he doesn't at all.
yeah, That's exactly
so
it.
they talked about the dogs more, and then Ari said, "Fuck Chihuahuas." Did that make you feel away?
No, I don't.
He was
I'm
probably-
not bound
he
by
was probably
Ari's
joking.
opinion. Yeah. Well, even then, even if he is like fuck Chihuahuas, I don't give a fuck.
Okay, I like Chihuahuas. Then they talked about the gerbil.
Yeah, Richard Gere. Okay.
So the original one is just like a normal ape.
Yeah, got
and
it.
then the different artists go in and make
yeah.
all these different things, and they sell for, like I said, big money. But it's like, I kind of get that one too. You know, I understand everybody's working off this same platform. You're seeing what they can do. Anyways, go ahead, come on.
Is that the craziest rumor you've ever heard? And I like how they tied it in with Scientology.
Yeah, I never heard that Scientology thing. That's very interesting. Very interesting.
I told you guys that
Had you?
Scientology thing. Yeah. Well, both those things are interesting because they actually both work with Scientology. One, either that was the secret he gave up at the beginning, and when he wanted to leave, they exposed his secret, him shoving gerbils up his ass being a real thing. Or conversely, his secret was something else. Maybe he's gay, and when he was leaving, they made up this story about him to crush his credibility or whatever.
Because have you heard of Rod Stewart with like a liter of cum?
Yep.
At the hospital.
Getting pumped out of his stomach.
never
Yeah.
Heard
that
it.
one.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of other, because it seems like they've lessened in a time when they would be more.
That Richard Gere one, everybody knows that. You know, it's crazy how
And it could, as you said, be made up.
it most probably is made up.
Dude,
Listen, if you're Richard Gere, I'm sure you can find another way to get your jollies off than shoving fucking gerbils, getting them addicted to cocaine, declawing them, and shoving them up your ass to get the coke that you've put up your ass. Because that was the rumor.
that was the rumor. Oh, I heard.
Yeah.
I thought he was just putting them up there for some joy.
Well, they want to go up there and move around.
Like guana.
They
What are you, Chet Hanks?
Guadawana.
At first, it like shocks you. It's like,
Island boy, Guadawana.
at first it shocks you, but then part of you is like, I wonder how good it feels.
No, not me. No.
Okay,
No
okay,
part of
okay,
me thought
okay.
that.
Simon,
Also,
can you get me a water?
do you think if Pee Wee Herman happened today, he'd be seen as a hero?
It's funny because I didn't.
Rejoice. Nobody wants to see anybody jerk off.
I don't think so.
Hold on. It made me think of two things though, because the first thing is like I didn't know he was gay. Not that that changes anything, but then
Didn't you know he was gay?
just in general, I never thought about it. Then, but it made me think about. It's weird that you would watch porn in a theater. Like that's how it used to be, right? Like
Well, yeah, they talked about.
I
it
know
in
they
the
talk
next
about that,
episode.
but that's what I'm saying is like it's such a weird. So what's the goal?
It's
Like
still illegal today.
no, I know, but hear me out. Like what's the goal? So you go and you watch the porn and then you've seen it, so it's like you remember
take
it.
the arousal with you, yeah.
That's so fucking
What do you mean?
weird.
I don't understand what
For
your question
sure.
is.
That's not
My
unreasonable.
question is, okay, first of all, you're going to watch a porn in a theater. You're obviously you can't jerk off in the theater, a la Paul Rubenez, right?
Well, he was dressed up, right? He had a disguise on.
Doesn't matter. That's
Did
not
you
the
just
point.
call him? I'm sorry.
Paul Rubens.
Rubens, whatever, Rubenez.
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 the
You
fuck?
trying
I
to
don't give a
make
fuck
Anyway,
what
sorry,
that is.
sorry. Go on.
My point is just like, is your goal to like retain the porn in your head so that you can then go home and jerk off?
Oh, if you're going and watching this
Yes.
movie,
Any movie,
I
any
think
porn
It would,
at all.
it would if
I
you
think the people
lasted.
who jerk off in movie theaters to porn, part of it is like jerking off in public.
Gotcha. It's like
It's not-
voyeurism.
Yeah, I think it's got to be because to your point, Matt, why are you going to watch
They wanna
this
get caught.
movie?
Well, no, at this time you could not watch a movie like this at home.
You
Or maybe
couldn't.
no,
Of course you could.
No. We're talking about no. Well, Pee Wee Herman's different, but I was saying when you couldn't watch porn at home, when like it was, a very difficult thing to get your hands on, or again, it was just like all.
that it was to remember.
So that's
And then
so
for
weird
the
to me.
spank
Or a
thing.
couple would go probably to be aroused.
Well,
and go home
listen,
after.
just
so odd.
thinking about this now, if you're like in olden times, okay, if you aren't having sex or if you're having sex with only like your wife, only ever in the missionary position, finding out about, the same way you would read a magazine and say, oh my God, there's doggy style. This
You
is
couldn't
like,
you couldn't piece together doggy style in your own head. You
well, but
don't think?
that's what they would get from the movies is what I'm saying. That's why people would go. There was no porn at home. There were no
It just seems,
Playboy magazines
It just seems
or
so
whatever. I don't
fucking.
know.
It just seems so odd for me to be like, Yeah, I'm gonna go watch this porn in a theater full of people just so I can later on jerk off to whatever I remember.
Yeah, but just because you are so conditioned to the access you've had since you can remember.
But even then, have you?
My point
fine.
is, how would you get anything for your spank bank? The only thing that would ever be in your
Yeah, I
spank
guess,
bank
yeah,
would be your
sure.
wife, or nothing
Yeah.
if you didn't
Experience.
have a wife.
I guess, yeah.
You would have to there's no experience.
Watching
even then,
porn for
like-
the first time would be so much more exciting, I think.
It's also like, have you ever watched a full porno front to back?
Yeah, when I was young.
Really?
Well, I thought there's a point. I thought
But I was like wondering to myself when they were talking about Paul Rubens, because I was thinking about this whole Pee Wee Herman thing. It's like, why the fuck was he jerking off there? And it had to be in my head. I'm like, well, it had to be a voyeurism thing. He had to there was like a thrill in doing it in public.
That was in Sarasota, Florida, by the way. Shout out Sarasota.
just now.
No, I said when the theater he jerked off in was in Sarasota.
A lot of that was it's gross to jerk off in a theater, but they were trying to say like he was gay and they're degenerates, and they were trying to tie that all up. Then.
And so
Now
you agree he would
you
not be
wouldn't
hero.
get that part, but nobody is applauding people jerking off in movie theaters, is what I'm saying. There would have been they wouldn't now say, oh, it's because he's gay.
was
But
probably joking.
I don't think anybody would be happy that they were jerking off in the movie
I might give him a
theaters.
round of applause.
He's probably joking.
Who was?
Joe,
About what?
about Pee Wee Herman being a hero today.
Oh, I think he was joking, yeah. He was being facetious, but whatever.
Could Tyson look bad if he really hurt Logo Paul?
Logo Paul.
That should be his name, Logo Paul.
I think he's aware enough, but remember when Joe had to enlarge the table because Mike got in a headset for Roy Jones Jr.?
Yeah.
I think he likes Logan and we'll just put on a show or whatever. But
I don't think anybody will hold him accountable because most people will say Logan Paul put himself in as a professional boxer and he should suffer the consequences.
just be
of
Logan
what
Paul's to
happens.
regret.
That's how I would look at it. I think that's how most people would look at it, except for Logo Paulinites or whatever they're called.
Dude, all those fights are set up. There's no knockout
a
clauses
no
in
knockout
them.
rule.
Like,
Okay, yeah.
give me a fucking,
guess
you know what
it's
I
not
mean?
Possible, but
in
still.
this one, there's going to be a no knockout clause.
There has in the past for Logan Paul fights, so it's
that's so lame. What
That's
are you
what I'm
doing?
saying.
What are we doing? Why is anybody watching that?
Well, if he were to seriously hurt him,
That would be
I think that would kibosh this celebrity boxing. Like it seems to go in a weird way. Some works, most doesn't.
I mean, I think people would start. I think maybe these YouTubers would be like, maybe we shouldn't be challenging the best of the best. Like Mike Tyson's a fucking murderer.
Like there's just something that might snap. And Mike, everything's agreed. He's bitten an ear off before.
Yeah.
Like if it is a competitive fight, let's say, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And Mike starts losing and he's afraid he's going to lose face. Like his legacy is going to go down as he loses to Logan Paul. He's going to do something to try and win, I think.
I don't know. I honestly think he's there for just the payday and
Well,
the payday
if
alone.
that's the case, this whole thing is so fucking stupid. And if that's really what's going on, then this has got to be over soon. Because how long can people care about fake fights?
Ask wrestling.
Yeah, but people know it's fake. Like,
Have to.
everybody does because
To me, it's real.
he had to admit it was fake. Vince McMahon. That was the whole thing. He had to break the fourth wall
But try to.
in order to not
Try to
have
go
to
back
pay all
ahead.
the taxes.
Do you
or to
remember
not
when you
get
realized
sued or something.
wrestling was fake?
I think I knew from a very young age that wrestling was fake.
Yeah, I don't remember that being like a revelation.
I always thought that, like, as far as I knew, that was known. It wasn't, we knew. I didn't, like, I still thought they were hurting each other because some of the stuff just looked real and I was a kid. But I knew that the outcomes were finished and nobody was actually going to, like, die because, but then
Owen Hart
I
died.
know. I mean, it's more than just Owen Hart. There was,
yeah, but he died in the ring. Like he fell 50 feet to his.
Yeah. No, it was heinous. I just watched that episode.
Not even 50 feet. It was way higher than
Behind
that.
the ring, or whatever it's called, Beyond the Mat.
It'll be interesting. Did you guys watch it?
What?
Tyson Paul.
That one I'll watch because I want to see Tyson just fucking destroy him. But
Even if you know there's going to be
if there's
no
rules,
destroying
I'm not
clause.
watching it. No way. Fuck no. A no destroying clause? Yeah.
It is a potential outcome of this fight, though.
What, that Mike kills him?
I don't know if he's. I bet he could kill somebody, but I think Logan Paul's athletic enough that.
I agree.
But I think he could like break his ribs, like with a body shot or something, or concuss him.
I think Logan Paul is too young. Listen, he should just run circles around Mike Tyson.
Yes.
As far as like, if he doesn't want to get hit, that should be very easy for Logan Paul. He's a fit 20-something. Like, listen, we watched Mike Tyson against Roy Jones Jr. Neither of those guys were moving very well.
I think we misunderstand, like, the ring looks big when you're watching. When you're actually in there, it's kind of like, you know, when you're playing hockey. It looks big when you're watching it. When you're actually on the rink, like, there's not a lot of room to move. I
think you're also forgetting, though, that Mike Tyson is, like, what, 50...
It's genius that we're talking about it in this way and not like, this is ridiculous. Mike Tyson is a clown. Logan Paul's stupid. You know what I mean?
don't think
like,
Mike Tyson is a clown.
I look at it like this. Mike,
in another universe, you would think of someone doing this.
listen,
If he smashes him, then he's not a clown.
He's no clown.
If Mike Tyson can find a way to still make millions of dollars from boxing at his age,
So be it.
all the fucking power to him. You got to applaud that almost.
No, he likes what they're doing. He thinks it's good for boxing. If there's one person in the world who could snap
Yeah.
in a situation where they're not supposed to snap,
Yeah.
it's like, I didn't mean to do it.
I watched him bite Evander Holyfield's ear off live.
So.
Me too. I would have hoped that Mike was going into this like, these guys are giving boxing a bad name. I want to fucking smarten this kid up. That would ideally
He's too
be
enlightened.
it.
Like he's been on the podcast with Logan, so he knows him.
But he's also, that's the thing, he's fighting Logan, not Jake.
I
feel
think
like
more
there's a-
people would want Jake to get knocked out than.
Oh, I believe that's true. But what I'm saying is, like, as far as respect goes, I think maybe Mike has a little more for Logan than he would for, say, Jake, who would probably talk all sorts of wild shit.
Well, maybe Jake will like steal his fucking hat at a press conference or something. And
Well, we'll see. Jake has a
Little
fight coming up
sparkle.
against a Fury, and he'll do
against
whatever he
who?
does.
Tyson Fury?
No.
Not a Fury. It's just Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury, yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
Is he Tyson related to Tyson?
Yeah.
I don't, is he?
He said he'd have to change his name if he loses to Jake Paul.
I didn't realize that. Interesting.
There's something about taking it personal when someone farts in front of you. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes when somebody does it, I'll get angry.
You get offended.
But not always, but sometimes.
Well, it depends who it is, but like if you have a thing like you could have gone outside or like, did you want me? It seems like you almost take it personal.
Dude, I can't remember, one of those YouTube guys like Vitali or fucking one of those idiots did like a farting on black people in the hood where he just had like the fart machine and would walk up to someone and then like,
He must have got his ass kicked.
dude, that is a group of people that do not take kindly to that sort of thing. It is fucking hilarious though.
I heard what happened to him is he ended up taking like 16 grams of mushrooms, and that's why he beat up that woman. That's where he's going to.
16
Who are we talking about?
grams
Vitaly.
of
Oh,
mushrooms.
wow. And he beat up a woman?
Like, that's where he's been.
Jesus.
That was his canceling moment.
Well, that's cancelable.
16 grams of mushrooms, that's enough to like fracture you.
I don't think so.
You know?
I don't think it's possible to fracture you.
Really?
I've done like 8
I guess
grams in
the-
one
the
sitting.
Experience that happens.
8 grams.
Yeah. I threw up everywhere.
Nice. I think we're built to handle it, but if something traumatic happened when you were in that state, maybe it'd be really bad. But it might be good therapy wise. I don't know. I'll let you know when I.
A hero's dose is like 4 grams. So you're talking, and that's enough to make you blast off into another universe.
I don't think the mushrooms I did were very good.
Well, obviously not,
Yeah.
because
Like I said, I threw up everywhere. And usually I find when I throw up on mushrooms, that's the end of everything. The trip is over.
you
immediate
expel all
off
the
switch.
poison,
Yeah. And then I'm just depressed. It's always terrible.
and you like got to contemplate. Oh fuck! If you throw up too early, do I re-eat the puke to try and get? the
Oh, you always
mushrooms?
re-eat.
No.
Of course not.
No, you can re-drink the urine.
That's from
The
meth.
mushrooms.
I don't think
That's
that's.
what
I
I've
don't think
heard.
that's
That's what I've
meth.
heard.
Yeah, because remember the whole story from what's her name? She redrank her piss.
Who? Who was this? Who drank the piss?
The girl comedian
Fetisi.
there, not Bridget Fetisi. The
It sounds like
girl
something she'd do.
Comedian who
Whitney Cummings, Ali
sees the
Makovsky.
aliens.
Oh my God, you go back to her every time. I have to remember her name. Jojo Rabbit. No.
Oh, the one that was on the
Fifi
skeptic
Dobson.
tank.
You know who I'm talking about.
Fifi Dobbs.
None of those
Julie.
things.
Julie.
No. It'll come to you. Anyways, yeah, she said that.
Brett Butler.
No, fuck off. Because there'd be remnants of the meth still left in the piss. And anyways, yeah.
Piss remnants.
They were bringing up memes. There's nothing funnier than memes, right? Is a day go by that you don't see a meme that breaks you?
No,
you don't watch.
I see.
You know what I mean?
memes and they're funny.
Like every day, there's. Ah.
I see memes and they're funny.
Have you seen the meme where the drawers open with the potato masher?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
the best.
It's like fuck you.
Like fuck you, Crow's in this drawer.
They're undefeated. I hate them. I want them to go away. It's impossible competition, and it's either inspiring or defeating that they're all from some Russian farm. Like they're just so good. Like we get these guys.
That's not true though. The stupid ones that don't make any sense are from the Russian farms.
Oh, you can discern.
No, no. Okay, listen. I just think that Joe is making a huge fucking generalization there. You know.
And it's funny how they steal jokes and then people steal memes. Like it's a new sort of weird gray area. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because the meme is a premise, really.
Yeah.
But the picture space a word. Anyone could act like they thought of it and sort of add to it to make it a joke.
What if you see a meme that's funny and that sparks an idea for you for a joke? Like it just seems like
The
anything
biggest thing
else.
for me is conversations people have or conversations I have that makes me think that I thought of that. Memes makes you feel like, fuck, that's a great thing.
Do you ever see a meme though and then work it into a premise somehow?
I'm trying to think. I don't think so. Maybe. No.
Like,
Like a headline. Like a headline is sort of a meme. You know what I mean? Especially the New York Post. Because they'll have a play on words and a picture.
Yeah.
Like that sort of, maybe that was the first memes. I don't know. But no, I don't get inspired by memes, as our next guest talked about. Do you guys remember the Crying Game?
Of course.
Yeah, how could he not?
I was
remember
screaming
the
out
Me
Crying
too.
Game.
Crying game.
Well, when
crying
Joe
game.
said it too, he's like, there's a million people screaming it out right now. Yeah. I was like, yep, crying game. Wasn't Forrest Whitaker in that?
And I think
But also Sleepaway Camp. Just that was first.
Gabriel Byrne from Usual Suspects was
Guys?
the
Sleepaway.
Sleepaway Camp.
No,
That
he
was
wants to do the crying
The
game.
first
clearly.
transgender.
No.
movie.
Oh.
The movie game's in the next episode.
That was the first
Oh my God,
transgender
I've never
movie.
done that before. Sorry to break down the fourth wall there.
Buried the lead.
know the director's notes. But I was thinking the Crying Game, I thought that's when we accepted transsexuals as do you know what I mean?
Well, I don't think you accepted it. I think it was
What about the
really
Rocky Horror
traumatic
Picture Show?
moment.
People and the Rocky Horror Picture Show is
lying in
another
the bath
example.
there
They made
crying,
fun of
right?
it in Ace Ventura, which freaks Joe out.
They not only did they make fun of it though, Joe's right. When you go back and watch that movie, they all start throwing
up, yeah.
like
Everyone-
a Stand
every
By
one of the
Me,
cops, yeah.
Barfarama situation.
So
it
actually,
really is.
There he goes. I learned something that.
But I mean,
proves
in the
it didn't.
crying game though, he gets naked and has a fucking big old dick hanging out, and you were like, whoa! It was so shocking to the senses.
And I think it was he back then. Like
Again,
no one even knew the
Sleepaway Camp,
terminology.
very shocking. You had no idea it was coming.
Yeah, but
Plot
did you see a
twist.
cock?
You see everything, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't like in the crying.
Yeah, in the crying game, I remember being young too and being like, whoa, I've never seen a dick on screen before.
Do you guys remember
That's
the
all
movie?
you thought. It wasn't about it being a transgender person.
I was
It
too
just
young.
you'd
I was
never
just like,
seen
whoa.
a dick before.
Do you remember the movie?
Well, I was like, I've never seen a dick on a chick or in a movie before.
Well,
Two for one.
It didn't make you revolt.
No, I wasn't like.
wow,
I mean, again, I was just
what
like,
a twist! And before M. Night Shyamalan was M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
That wasn't M. Night Shyamalan.
No,
He
but
knows.
It's a twist
Oh.
at the end. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Do you guys ever see the movie Soul Man?
Soul Man, where
Because
he
Mark Norman mentioned it.
paints himself black.
Well, he takes overdoses on tanning pills
Mm-hmm.
to steal a scholarship only for black people
oh, yikes.
to go to university.
Yikes.
It sounds like that woman there.
And it's called Soul Man?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's with what's his name?
Oh,
That doesn't help.
C. Howell.
See how.
Maybe he was in
The Outsiders?
Wolverines, The Outsiders.
C. Thomas Howell?
C. Thomas Howell. Thank you. There you go. Oh, no. C. Thomas Howell feels like he's the mechanic from Wings.
No, C. Thomas Howell is the guy from
That's
The
our boy.
Outsiders,
Anyways,
right?
that's such a crazy premise that was sort of funny. Mark Norman always brings that up as like, with Joe, as movies, I don't think Joe's ever seen it that you just couldn't do today. Shane Gillis has an amazing Trump.
Very good.
He does a really good Trump, but you could tell
He just kept being too
He
like
just
he was
stopped.
secure.
Yeah, I
Keep
know.
going.
He was-
do
I
the
know.
whole
Yeah, I was like,
thing.
dude, what's wrong with you? They're
He's
giving.
feeling
They
himself
obviously
out there.
loved it.
Well, even then, I'm like, they're giving you a green light to do like bits here. Like you can, it's like a rarity on.
It's like he was afraid to succeed, like they talk in the third episode.
And then the drunker he got, he was like one word in. It was like, listen, no, forget it.
I
It was.
bet if he was sober, he would have had his best performance.
Yeah.
But I still think he was the raciest. Like even with Ari there, Ari's just ridiculous. But he was trying to make jokes and like maybe apologize too much.
He doesn't seem to give a fuck after being canceled already. I think he's just
he's in a good spot.
like in whatever.
I think he was my favorite of the three. Rated boys.
I like Shane Gillis.
I give it a 4.
I'll give this one a 2.5. I like the episode, but again, I just found it was too much talking over people.
No, this
Yeah,
one was
it
fun.
was
This one was
driving me
fun and
nuts.
funny. This felt like kind of almost like an old school Joe episode to me.
It was definitely fun.
What do you rate it?
I give it a 2.5. Just like I said, it didn't have to happen. I wish it was Bobby Kelly. When they said Bobby Kelly, I was like, oh, I would like
Bobby Kelly still hasn't been on Rogan. Like, yeah, that would have been great.
And now Gilbert Gottfried
you.
has.
I'm with you, Kay.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm with you.
Well, no, we're going to take a break.
Yep.
We're going to pay a bill, maybe.
Yep.
And we'll be right back.
Keep your eyes open.
No. We're back. Thank you to someone. Go check them out.
1729 Gilbert Gottfried. What I was saying right before the break ended is I forgot to bring up, they did sort of talk about comedians. You know what I mean? They sort of got loose, like telling people's business and stuff. Nothing extraordinarily scandalous.
Like what?
Well, Shane Gillis said he saw Louis' special. It's come out on Hulu, but I don't think I'm supposed to say that. Just little slip-ups or whatever.
Joe put some doctor on blast for having a huge dick.
Yeah. They got
Like
comfortable.
some professional doctors in out there, like, holy fuck.
But they also mentioned that Larry David just slinged
Slinging
the
dick. Yeah.
And you don't think about that because you think his character is so him.
No, I would totally see him.
But
He's
in real
so
life,
rich.
if you're worth billions of dollars, you can really have a good time.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. That's something to aspire to, you know what I mean? It's never too late. Just got to get those billions.
And a divorce.
Well, wait a second. I'm confused. He's a billionaire.
Yeah.
You think he bought his big dick?
No, the fact that he doesn't, it wouldn't matter what size his dick
he's
is.
supposed to be slung. They said that. But he was saying last time I saw him, he was leaving with 3 girls. Just
Gotcha.
that he's
Gotcha.
throwing the.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what size it is.
Did you find Cheryl hot?
His
Yeah.
wife,
Yeah.
Yeah.
extremely attractive.
But she extremely attractive.
If she did a MILF porn or OnlyFans,
There's
I'd
something
wrestle.
about Cheryl that was like super hot.
well, then she would
But
fuck Larry. She'd
if
fuck
you-
anybody.
if you saw her with like 4 other hot women, I don't think she,
She
would
might
be
not
your
be.
first
She
pick.
might not be.
You know?
She might not be.
It was really about like.
But her compared to Jeff Garland's wife,
well,
Also,
yeah,
when Curb first came on, I was a lot younger, and she was like an older woman, so that was hot.
That was
now I'm
something, too.
old, so old women are like
well, they were
gross.
talking about this was something else we left out of last episode. You didn't take it down in your notes, but they were talking about like stepmom porn or whatever because Joe's obsessed with it. But I was
Yeah.
thinking about it like as you get older,
Yeah.
like I'll never look at porn that says young in the title. That just makes me feel gross at this point. You know what I mean?
Wow. So you're cutting a lot of porn
I'm
out of the
not
mix.
looking for like granny porn, but I think the whole idea of porn, or I don't know, the best porn, anyways, is it gives you the idea that you could be involved, right? That's why Kamar, I think you love like the realistic porn so much because that's what it's about, right?
I think so.
you're kind of putting.
I
but
never watch porn if it's in a really nice hotel room, resort.
a big house
Someplace
or
I'll never
some
be.
guy with a nice. You'll never watch somebody fucking in a.
It's
gotta be a
in a
rundown.
Lambo.
If there are
Yeah.
clothes on the floor,
Yeah.
I'm not coming.
No, but again, I just think that like I don't know. That's you. That makes sense to me. You
See, I
would
disagree.
tend to, within reason, like it's still. You're still imagining. You're still but within reason.
No, for me, like it's like again, like do you watch porn where they wear condoms?
Yes,
That's different. That's
but
different.
No, it's not
I
because
never
it's your-
watch porn where they wear condoms.
pillows
Yeah,
have
That's an
immediately
automatic-
next for me.
Get the fuck out of here.
door.
Get the fuck out
Yeah,
of here.
exactly. Later,
No, but
beat it.
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying like
No, but my point was simply, Simon, is like, you know, for me, you watch porn for like the fantasy of it. Like, you're not, that's why a condom, like, never in my fantasy is it like, and then I fumbled with the wrapper for a bit. Like, fuck that.
Oh, well, I don't use condoms, so there's no way I'm watching condoms.
Well, exactly.
Maybe if I was like single and I was out there having to use condoms, I would be okay with watching condoms.
No, even then you'd be
Again,
like,
that's
fuck
because I'm
this.
imagining myself in that position.
No, you'd still be like, fuck that. So Kamar, you will if the
Like-
guy if a condomed penis enters the shot, you're not like you're just cool with that.
Yeah, life goes on.
Interesting. Life goes on.
Usually-
But the thing is, it's so accessible. Hold on. The
Usually
weirdest
it's-
thing though is it's so accessible now to just go to the next video. It's not like you rented a video where you're like, oh no, they all have
You have
condoms
so-
on.
you have
a
so many
million options. Yeah.
You
What are
have
you?
so many options.
Sometimes I've seen it. It's for double penetration, but what it tells me is they don't really know each other, and this is a little more black market porn than you run the mill. Everyone has their identification, so people are being really reckless.
Like again,
especially when it's a hot girl. When a guy wears a condom with a super hot girl, I'm like, there must be some danger written all over that ass. One too many pimples.
no, that's not at all what it's like. No, that girl's uptight and she's saying, no, you have to wear a condom.
Oh, good angle, good
some
angle.
porn star who doesn't give a fuck is like, yeah, just raw dog me, but you know, I'll take my chances.
airtight. Let's go.
It's not
I'll
a deal
take
breaker.
my
I'll say that.
chances. Oh, it's a deal breaker for me, man.
Yeah. Oh, next video. In fact, I'll go to I'll write Pornhub and be like, can you remove all condomed videos from my search from anything? I want it out of here.
Anyway, sorry. I just thought that was.
Well, the reason why I didn't bring up the porn that they talked about is because Gilbert Gottfried's a little pervert. Eh?
Oh yeah, totally.
Dude, when he started going off about the hot Jews, let's see, there's that Natalie Portman. Then we've got, hold on. Yeah, I'm not done, Joe. There's a few more beautiful Jews. It was fucking unreal. I was like, this is nuts.
He's disclosing that he's jerked off to them.
Yeah.
Not that he recognized them as beautiful
Personally,
women.
Joe, I found Tommy Lee and Pam's video very boring. I was like, what is happening
Put me
right
to
now?
sleep. All the vaginas. Those shots just went away.
I saw
Britney's-
the boom mic twice.
Britney Spears, she had a disgusting pussy.
You've seen. He feels like he's seen every porno ever made.
Are we on Gilbert Gottfried now?
Yeah.
1729. Gilbert
We've
Gottfried.
moved on
Yeah.
from.
Kamara was reminiscing real quick. He was doing a
Gotcha.
post
No,
Joe
I
on the
ju-
first
I just
episode real
I just
quick.
wanted to make sure. He's a huge porn.
He's a huge porn.
A huge perv.
Porn dog.
But you know what Joe failed to ask him about, which would have been my first question, and something they never talk about on the Rogan Show. I don't think I've ever, maybe once in passing, is the Aristocrats. And
The movie?
yeah, the documentary. And Gilbert Gottfried's
Oh, his is
bit
incredible.
in that is incredible, man.
There are so
Like,
many stories for him. Like he could have talked about the Affleck thing or numerous
Affleck.
things. Remember he did the tsunami
Being
jokes.
Affleck?
And he was the voice of the dub.
Oh, and then he got fucking
he got
pulled.
canceled. So that, I mean, he could have gone down that road.
Affleck.
I mean,
How-
he's been around.
How is it possible that Gilbert Gottfried's had the career he's had? Joe's been in the game since the 80s, and they've never once
It's crazy.
crossed
It's crazy.
paths. It's
I said to Matt last night, in that room was like 80 plus years of
Yeah.
comedy experience, and they never cross paths.
Because Gilbert Gottfried is, like, I've met him at,
humble brag.
is a very, like, meek sort of guy. Like, he's,
So Joe won't associate with
Well, no,
meat
they're
people?
not running each other at the same places. If he did a set, he would go home after. He would be hanging around the bar talking war stories.
Still, though, in 25 years, they've never been at a club.
It's
They've never
crazy. It's
Opie and
crazy,
Anthony,
yeah.
a radio station, the
Stern,
airport,
something.
anywhere. They've never. It's
Well,
so
first of
odd.
all, Gilbert Gottfried was headlining when Joe became a comic.
Still, even then, you'd think
Well,
maybe.
he's just always on the road.
Okay,
working.
okay, fine. Kamar, you disagree. I think it's crazy, Matt.
Thank you.
We should do a short list of comics who've never met each other that doesn't make sense.
Well,
Theirs would not be the oddest couple.
I still, given the amount of time they've been working, I find it very. There could have been a Snuffleupagus theory pre this podcast for Joe and Gilbert Gottfried.
That's possible. They're about the same height.
He was Yago in
In Aladdin, and Joe couldn't. It was funny because I don't think Joe had seen Aladdin or couldn't figure it out because he was like, "Oh, it was a musical."
Well, no, he
and
did,
he's like,
he
"Yeah."
did the play also, I think, on Broadway.
Either way, they're
but
all musicals. Aladdin is a musical. There's musical
they're
numbers.
cartoons.
Yes.
Oh yeah. They're all musicals. They're set up as musicals.
Yes, every
Disney movie.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my point. But Joe was like, "Oh, it's a musical."
Everyone?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not Snow White. No,
Yeah,
there's
Snow
there's
White,
they're singing in everyone.
Hi-ho,
yeah,
hi-ho.
Mulan.
Oh, for sure, Mulan.
Okay, Lion King definitely.
Definitely. Yeah, no.
Little Mermaid
it's all
for
in there.
sure. Yeah. It's like cookie cutter.
You know where there isn't singing, I don't think, is in
Fantasia.
well, that's all music, but
I said
there's
no singing.
speaking in it. Anyways, yeah, it's orchestra. No, is in Sleeping Beauty. I don't think they're singing in that one.
Yeah, there is. The Wicked Stepsisters have a song, don't they?
I don't think so. I don't know. I could be wrong. Prove me wrong.
Sorry, Kumar.
I think maybe at the beginning of the Disney movies there was no singing, and then the singing came in like at Snow White, maybe. Was that
Snow White's the Stepsisters, isn't it?
Cinderella is.
No, Cinderella's the
There's definitely
Stepsisters.
singing in
Yeah.
Cinderella. Wash the dishes, Cinderella.
So then which one's fucking Sleeping Beauty? Maybe you're
Sleeping
right.
Beauty is the one where
Dwarfs.
they eat the apple. No,
No, they're
sorry. No. Sleeping Beauty is the one with the dragon and what's her name there?
Hi-ho.
No, that's
That's
Snow White.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
They did a newer movie with Angelina Jolie, Melissa.
Yeah.
Maleficent.
Melissa. Yeah.
That's
Maleficent.
the,
Pricks her finger.
Yeah.
Sleeping Beauty, maybe?
Yeah. The prick. Yeah.
Sleeping Beauty.
A prick of the finger, and then the Prince Charming has to wake her up with a kiss, right?
Well, that's in Snow White also. But in Sleeping Beauty,
I feel like we should really know this.
yeah. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Sleeping Beauty, the Maleficent there becomes a dragon. I remember that part.
Yeah, and the knight has to protect her.
Yeah. Anyways,
Cuts through the thorns.
doesn't matter. Stupid.
Speaking of movies, Gilbert Gottfried thinks movies are on the way out.
That's a ridiculous statement.
It is. But it's a statement I made. I mean, it's...
He also seemed like he was a little bit behind the times on a couple of things.
But hold on.
Because he said,
Wait, you think they'll stop making movies, period?
No, the movie theater experience.
Yeah, because it felt more like he was saying movies in general were
well,
going
because he
away.
said even before the pandemic, Netflix was already releasing movies.
That
straight
still makes it a
to-
movie, though. Just because
I
it
agree
goes
with
to
that. I agree with
Netflix,
that.
it's not a movie, right?
If he were to say because of virtual reality and just actors not needed anymore and movies would be something else, like everything's animated, I could believe that. Especially because of this Rust incident. With the shooting on the set, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
I still think they're going to make movies
They're
with
going
people.
to make movies,
Let's
but
talk about that for a second, okay?
Okay.
I understand how accidents can happen. I could see
Bruce Lee's son.
if you had real bullets and fake bullets on the set, at some point, maybe there's an accident that could happen. Why on fucking earth do they have real bullets on the set?
reason there should be.
There's zero reason why there should be real bullets on the set.
Because they're fucking around. They shoot guns. And
Even then, there
have
should
real
be like a
guns.
professional handler for every firearm as well. That like
Totally, but forget that. You should take all of that out of the equation.
No, but Simon, my
because-
point is the redundancies before you even get to a real bullet should be so many in place that it's not even a fucking issue, right? Like the guy who brings the gun on set should be so professional that he has no, it just seems very odd.
It doesn't make any sense.
Or if they could make a gun that was like electric that just made a big bang noise.
Don't
They never
forget
had
though,
bullets.
Brandon Lee, same thing. He got killed on the set of The Crow.
He killed himself on the set of the crew.
but it was still a live
They
round.
killed him.
You're right.
on
You're right.
the
You're right.
set
You're right.
of the
It was the
Crown.
other guy that put the gun to his head. 'Cause
Either
he thought
way,
it would do nothing. Joe asked him who inspired him, who he liked, and he said, if by inspired you mean plagiarism. I think there was a 50-year period where it was just jokes were told,
yeah.
and there was no like ownership of them. Do you know what I mean? And it wasn't a bad thing. It was just like,
So like you could go to New York, watch a comedy show, go to LA, do those jokes, and it's just okay because nobody would ever know that you were plagiarizing them.
Well, think about it. Gallagher sold his fucking shtick to his brother, and then there was Gallagher too. So you know what I mean? It makes sense. Again, with no internet and no
no
videos being passed around.
No, you're
That's
not
what
even
I'm
going to know.
saying.
Hey, I thought I heard.
No,
someone else say that.
that's what I'm saying. You
Think
could
about it
just
too.
get away with that.
You could even sell your set as a comedian. You know what I mean? You could be like, I do the Eastern Seaboard, so I'll sell this to a
And
Chicago
I
comedian.
wonder where there's a point where a guy was like, "Hey, man, I do that. That's mine." Like,
But
I lay down the law. You know what I mean?
it's known, let's say, that nothing to do with stealing. But like Chris Rock got comedians to help him write jokes
Yeah.
for his special. But people still say that's like the best special of all time.
One of them, yeah.
It's weird, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know.
The
Yes and
delivery
no.
versus the writing.
No, I just think it's weird that that's like a weird pass that he gets on that.
Well, I think he's open about it. He never hid it.
No, I nor should he, but it just, I don't know.
It's a different category.
It's a different category.
It's an ensemble.
I also feel like comedians in general help each other punch up their jokes, and it's kind of an unspoken about thing. You know what I mean? Like if Kamar had a great fucking bit, but a comedian he trusted and liked came up and was like, "Dude, I got a way for you to punch that up and gave it to you. Would you use it?"
Those
Every
guys
time,
were
man.
That's what
those
I'm saying.
guys
That's the only
were
way to
on
get
the
better.
on the payroll. There's a difference between your
Okay.
peers offering just a piece of advice, like Bert Kreischer saying to Joe, "Hey, you should throw this in there. It'll punch up that joke."
Fair enough, yeah.
And him having him on the payroll to punch up his jokes. That's a huge difference.
Fair enough, Simon. My apologies.
Thank you, Matt. No, don't apologize. It just has nothing to do with anything. I just thought of it right now, though.
Did you guys watch the Marx Brothers? I bet there's no way you did. Did you?
Probably seen one movie in
was-
my whole life.
Like Marx Brothers or Three Stooges? Which
Three Stooges I watched.
Well, Three
That
Stooges. My
resonates with
dad like lived and breathed Three Stooges.
so you watched but didn't get it, or you thought it was kind of silly?
Dude, I remember him and my sister sitting around and like in tears laughing, and I was just like, I don't get this. Like, to me, I don't know. I didn't get it.
I never thought it was that funny either. But Looney Tunes cartoons I love.
Cartoons, of course.
Like-
Of course, we were kids, but I liked the Marx Brothers. Like I thought it was funny.
I mean, Looney Tunes is something that has aged like a vinegar, just so poorly.
You mean the content and stuff like Bluto from Popeye, like they talked about.
There are so many things about Looney Tunes that wouldn't fly these days.
dude.
It's not like just one thing.
If you're Asian, they went. I mean,
Inappropriate.
Oh, so hardcore on the Asian.
They went Shane Gillis.
yeah.
Yeah, they went change. What were you just talking about, though? Sorry.
I was just
Before
about
that?
the Marx Brothers.
No. And
Cartoons,
then-
inappropriate.
Yeah, cartoons and
Three Stooges,
No, whatever.
and it's gone.
They had a weird back and forth where they were just talking about like people who validated them. Like so and so said I was funny. It's like, no way. I met Eddie Murphy. He said I was funny.
Yeah.
And they brought up Richard Pryor. I love him because he's like, I was in the last Gene Wilder Richard Pryor movie. He was a piece of shit. I got cut. Like he there's no fucks given with him, and I think he could have gone anywhere Joe wanted.
Yeah, probably.
Like he's that old, I don't give a shit, old man.
Yeah.
I made it sort of thing.
But he's still pushing his Cameo page, which I thought was fucking hilarious.
I'm telling you, he's just a road dog, and that's why him and Joe never meet.
What do you think he's worth?
Ooh, nice.
Oh, we can do this game.
pull
That's
him
fun.
up?
Or are you going to
Or
guess?
you want me to pull him up? Come on.
Yeah,
It's
Kamar and
totally
I'll
up
guess.
to
No,
wanna
you
guess?
pull it up.
Sure.
Kamar and I'll guess.
Sure.
Gilbert Gottfried.
So don't pull it up. Come on.
I'm not.
It's weird because part of me is like, Aladdin was so big, he must have gotten paid. But then I'm like, it's a Disney movie.
But
There's no fucking way he got paid.
Do you know what your introduction to him was? It was definitely through a movie.
Yeah, it was some kid's movie.
So the first time I saw him was either in Beverly Hills Cop or Ford Fairlane.
Ford
Well,
Fairlane. What a great fucking movie.
What was he in
Kamar?
Beverly-
Or was
No, I don't even remember.
What was he in Beverly Hills Cop?
He was the lawyer. He was because Axel Foley went in to tell him he had parking tickets, and he was like, "If I were to take something from this hand and put it in this hand,
That's
and
right.
make this
Yes,
go away," and
yes.
he
So that was
shook
definitely
him
my
down.
first. Yeah, I had that on Betamax because I had a Beta in my room when I was a kid.
What a
and
chump.
and a shitty white and black and white TV.
Beta.
I used to watch that movie
Bummer.
religiously.
Beta. But yeah, he was. I knew him as a movie star before I ever knew he did stand up, for sure.
Yeah, me too.
But he's sort of a persona guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't remember what the first thing I saw him in was.
You know what's weird too? We were just talking about how you could do other people's jokes, though. The Tonight Show was definitely a thing. That introduced a lot of people to a lot of comedians and jokes. So it
Oh, he
feels,
was on the Tonight Show.
no, for
He
sure.
could've
But I'm
talked
just
about
saying,
that.
like that was a place where if you saw a joke, you probably couldn't do that one, right?
Yeah,
Like if you were like, I saw Freddie Prinze do that joke on the Tonight Show, that
that would have been a change in the tide for sure.
But how many people actually got on the Tonight? You know,
Yeah, you're right
were
there,
so
too,
many
yeah.
comedians
Richard
who
Pryor,
never
Carlin,
got on
they
there,
started
who
it.
Yeah.
were probably way better than the people.
I loved
who
his
did get on.
Carlin story.
Could have been Lenny Bruce.
His
What was
Carlin.
his on
Remember-
the plane.
No, Carlin, like he walked up to introduce himself, and Carlin was like, "I'm too busy. I can't talk to you right now." And just like he was like, "It was a pleasant fuck off."
Carlin walked up to him and said,
Yeah,
I'm going to spend this doing my work,
Yeah.
so fuck off.
yeah.
It was like
Incredible.
the preemptive.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm used to it. I thought it was interesting. He sort of said that Robert Williams might have given him a break.
Yeah, that was great. And Joe told his Robin Williams story for the umpteenth time as usual.
Well, no, this is all within this back
Notorious
and forth of like
joke thief, Robin Williams.
Notorious Joke Thief. They didn't put that together. It is so weird how there was the porn section with the beads
Yeah.
or the cowboy doors.
Yeah. I never saw cowboy doors. It was always
Oh no,
beads.
there were definitely cowboy
believe
doors
it. I'm just
because
saying.
the beads, as a kid, you could look through. This was like a step further.
Gotcha.
You know,
They
you
only,
couldn't.
they only put the movies. They wouldn't put them high on the shelf.
the
so
top 6 shelves.
It's so weird. There's like, but society got to the point that we need to facilitate this, and it is a moneymaker. It isn't like a fridge like, oh, once a month someone goes
Kamar,
in there. There's
the
always some dude in a trench coat.
The
in that little
swinging
room.
doors was one. It must have been at like 4th Avenue Video or something, because I think that was something in our neighborhood.
I think it might have been
We
Alpha,
both remember
Alpha
that.
Video.
Alpha
Might have been
Video.
Alpha Video. Rest in
Matt's
peace.
not old enough; he wouldn't remember.
See, I'm just lucky enough that my dad is a degenerate. So like,
So he had a Betamax.
well, no, it was like like finding porn in the house. You know what I mean? Like I remember finding a video and being like, "This is a porn. Sweet. I now have."
Oh, you know where it was too? West Coast Video.
No,
Yeah.
they had no porn at
No.
West Coast.
They had a little room.
Did they? I don't remember.
And I think
don't think
Blockbuster
so.
did not have a porn room.
No, that was Blockbusters, and that was their
definitely
whole.
didn't wholesome, no porn.
That was their
Yeah.
whole thing. There is no porn here.
My friend's grandfather had the craziest porn collection. So we used to go over there every Saturday to watch wrestling.
To watch wrestling.
To watch wrestling, and
I thought it was real at the time.
No, I didn't think it was real. But we would like sneak in there and grab like a movie or a magazine or something. You know,
Yeah, why
the
not?
whole thing.
I remember
Oh,
my
let's stand to that anecdote.
I remember my dad.
Did you say antidote?
No anecdote.
I remember this dude worked for my dad, and I took over, like, he had the office in the basement at my dad's house, which eventually became my room. But I was only there like 2 days a month. And I remember my sister, like, thought she, like, because she was such a little narc, she was like, yeah, well, I found the magazines in your room. And my dad was like, oh. And I went, and I literally was like, what magazines? Like, and my dad could tell by my face that I genuinely had no fucking clue what magazines. She was like, I'll show you when we get home. And I was like, yeah, please do.
They were his magazines?
No, the guy that used to work for my dad had, like, I guess, because it was his old office.
Okay.
So he had stashed like these 4 porno mags.
So did your dad know what was going on though? Had he worked it out or?
Well, no, once we got home, because my dad was like, yeah, show us. Like,
Oh,
so we
I
get
see.
home and my
Okay.
sister goes into the closet, and under this like tarp, there's 4. And I was like, fuck, there's been porn in here the whole time. Like I've been just jerking off to my like bullshit in my head.
It was like when we got that weed in the States there, Kamar, and then I looked in my trunk and I had already taken the weed.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're cool.
How many times have you been caught jerking off?
Like in my whole
I imagine you countless times.
Well, he has a crazy story, right?
Yeah. No, but the craziest one ever was my girlfriend caught me jerking off
I don't know if that counts.
with an iPad,
Okay.
but it was her iPad, and she's so pissed off that I was
She
watching.
was in the house that while you were jerking
No,
off?
she just came home.
I always find
That's
that
what's
the
happening.
weirdest flex. It just bums me out that you're using my iPad or computer to jerk off. Why? What do you care? I've heard that before.
Is that the flex, or was she mad that you
The
didn't
flex was she
wait for
grabbed
her?
it on my hand and smashed it on the floor.
Her own iPad?
Yeah.
I
Oh, we know
definitely
exact-
know who
I was
this
just gonna
was.
say-
now.
I do too. I was
There's
there,
no-
but I'm just
Oh,
saying.
I know you know, Kamar. I'm saying right away we know.
It was just a traumatic experience. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll leave a sock
Whoa,
on the
hold
door.
on, hold on. We all know who this was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How is she mad that you were watching porn?
that's what I'm talking about.
That's weird.
No, that seems like her flex for sure.
In any event, that's
In
my
any
my
event,
story.
ever been caught jerking off?
The answer is
Multiple
obviously
times.
yes.
Multiple times I've been caught jerking off.
I'm trying to think of. I'm sure I got caught by like my parents at some point or something. Didn't lock the door, but never to the point where like my mom saw me doing it.
No, of course. I've never been caught like
that's
cock
what
out. No. Like I mean, like my dad walked in like under the covers jerking off. You know what I mean? For
I'm
sure.
I'm sure I've been caught. I can't remember though. Nothing so traumatic that I remember.
Yeah, I've told the story. I got caught jerking off in high school, and they told the
Yeah,
whole school.
that's right.
But
Yeah.
you're like,
That's the most traumatic.
Yeah.
though.
it put Twitter to shame.
Yeah, of course.
That's how fast it
Yeah.
word
Oh,
spread.
yeah.
That
for
was
sure.
like a Richard Gere
Yeah. Yeah, the
gerbil,
gerbil,
in the
yeah.
ass.
Well, it was 100% true, and I did deny it. I did not deny it. This opened up the scab of JFK, but I feel like they got into a bit more on the next one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave that there. The best thing that I got out of this was when he talked about Elvis Presley hopped up on pills with a gun
yeah.
in the White House, proposing how he could contribute to the war on drugs.
Yeah.
That sounds just about right, though, because the war on drugs is such a farce. So
He's like, listen, Nixon, this is what you do. Round up all the drugs, send them to my house, and we'll dispose of them. That's like his big
send
plan. He's
him
got
to
a
me
gun.
and I'll take care of
Yeah.
him.
Listen,
Yeah.
we've got this disposal at my house called me, and I will just do all the drugs. Problem
It's called
solved.
the EDS, the Elvis Drug Disposal.
Elvis disposal
Look, baby,
system.
we got too many kids out here doing drugs.
Yeah.
We got to clean this thing up. I can't shake my thing anymore.
system.
But that's like all the preachers that are super anti-gay and then 10 years later get caught in like a gay sex ring. You know what I mean?
It was just a delusional. Elvis thought he was God.
Well, that too, yeah.
Like, have you ever seen him doing karate?
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. I just love that people get so high on themselves when they're high, because I've seen that. Like, you've seen that in a room. You've been there,
Coke
I'm sure.
is the worst drug for
Yeah.
that.
Coke is
This
definitely...
came up in conversation that there was like no template for Elvis. So, like, no celebrity can go to the White House now with a gun and sit on a desk and go, "This is what we gotta do about the drug crime." You know what I mean? Things have changed. But
Yeah.
he could have done anything he wanted. He probably could have killed a puppy. Got away with it.
Elvis?
Well,
Elvis could have done
He was
anything he
he's in the
wanted.
White House with a gun.
Elvis was
hopped up on pills.
Elvis was skeet shooting puppies. Like
Oh yeah, not even.
he was
question.
uncancelable.
Yeah.
He dropped a great one-liner that everyone should never forget: "Is what's the worst thing a woman could hear while having sex?" I'm not
Willie Nelson. Yeah.
That is victimless crime. And your head goes to the fucking grimy guy that tried to pull it off. You know what I mean?
It just reminds me of Artie Lang's joke where he was talking about all the girls he slept with in the 90s. And then he goes, listen, Joe, a lot of girls left New York thinking they fucked Newman.
Well, that's a true story. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was an ashtray tester. That was a
that's
job.
so- yeah.
I mean, he got in probably so young. Obviously, it's a remedial job, but you just think about how many jobs have been deleted up into this point.
He was an ashtray tester? I missed that part.
That's what he said.
He tested ashtrays.
Yeah.
We forgot to talk about in the previous episode too.
You know what the interesting thing about that job is it seems like the kind of job in the 60s and 70s that the whole office could just partake in.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you don't need to hire someone. Everyone smokes. What does the secretary think of the ashtray? She thinks it's great. Oh, perfect.
Watching Mark Norman smoke the stogie was like watching like a 7-year-old kid smoke a cigar.
Well,
for the
more
first
worked the
time.
lighter.
Well, that too.
But what the best was, Shade was like, "Oh, you're smoking like a pussy." And when it got to him, he got all quiet and really.
Turned away
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
camera to light it. It was very funny. Yeah,
It was a very,
It was
very touching moment.
cute.
He did not have a good experience on SNL,
No. But he was there during like a dark period, so it's kind of
but I think they learned from that, and that you don't just change the whole cast anymore.
yeah, you got to do it slowly, piece by piece.
Because that's what they do now. Someone's always hanging around there, and Keaton Thompson's always there.
When
Oh, he's
I
like a
watched
25-year vet.
when I watched SNL
Yeah.
for that Kim Kardashian episode
Mm-hmm,
there, I knew 3 people at the beginning. 3 out of like 25
Of the cast
members they have now.
I still feel like
Keenan and the 2 guys from
I still
news.
feel like that early 90s, mid 90s era was the heyday. Like no better time for SNL.
Adam Sandler,
Chris Rock.
Better than Bill
Chris
Murray
Farley.
and, those guys. I mean, that
But
was
keep
a
in mind,
short period.
I was too young to watch SNL then, so it wasn't my era. So for me, there's just no doubt that like Mike Myers, Chris Rock,
Yeah,
Chris
that
Farley,
is
it's
the
just a
best
murderer's
time,
row.
man.
David
Yeah.
Spade, like everyone
So
went
Chris
on.
Kattan.
Everyone went on to. Well, no, Chris Kattan was after that, but
no, he was during that.
no, him and Will Ferrell. No, I'm talking. They were after after the Mike Myers, all of them.
Chris Kattan was
That's your
definitely
prime.
there with Adam
like,
Sandler.
for me-
because he ended up in like Adam Sandler movies, didn't he?
No, not Chris Kattan.
He was probably new
Okay, sure.
and a switch out there, but it wasn't a long run. Every Monday, everyone was repeating Wayne's World.
Yeah, of course.
There was a point. That's what you were talking about that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Wayne's
Or
World was
whatever
huge. When
Adam
Wayne's
Sandler did, like Opera Man or fucking whatever he did that weekend.
yeah, oh yeah.
But
You
he
were
left
repeating
so
Cajun
fast. It was like
When Wayne's World came out, I bet Queen made so much fucking bread. They made Bohemian Rhapsody like a re-phenomenon.
Yeah.
that was huge when I was like 15.
And yeah, everyone was saying not for like the next 4 years.
I wonder what the I don't know what movie you're gonna do, but I would also like to do Wayne's World because I'm just interested to know what the
Yeah, we can do Wayne's
Yeah.
World. Fine, we'll do a double shot when we get there.
when we get there. Well, he promised it was going to be in this episode. So.
I did.
Yeah.
It's coming
Teaser that he laid in the first one, the Easter egg he planted.
up. It's coming up.
oh.
It's weird about Dennis Leary. How he was a stand-up and then went to actor and like never.
I don't
wanted
even
to do
remember
stand-up.
that he was on MTV.
Yeah, he'd smoke and go, you know what the problem is? They don't have enough guns.
I remember him doing those rants, but I thought that was on his own show.
The
I
worst
didn't
was he was on
realize-
Monday Night Football.
No, not. Are you sure you're not? mixing
Yeah,
that up
he
with,
was.
Yes, he was.
after. But wait,
he replaced. Dennis Miller.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
who
Dennis
we're talking
Miller.
about. Dennis Miller.
No, Dennis Leary is from.
Oh yeah, but he wasn't.
Okay, hold
but
on.
He
hold
wasn't
on,
talking about
stop,
Dennis Leary.
stop,
They were talking about
just
Dennis
stop,
Miller.
stop. Dennis Miller.
I brought up Dennis Leary.
Okay, just hold on one second. We're going to talk about Dennis Leary in a second. But Dennis Miller was the one on MTV. He was the one they were
That
talking
did
about
Monday
in
Night
this
Football.
episode.
Yeah, that's who they were talking about. So I wasn't sure where Dennis Leary
Dennis
came
Miller
up.
was not on MTV.
I don't know. Was he?
He wasn't.
Well, he was on Monday Night Football.
He was on Saturday Night Live. He did the
Yes.
news on
Yes.
Saturday
Yes.
Night Live. That's what made
Dennis
him
Leary
famous.
is the guy from. What's the Fire?
The Fire Show. Yeah. Save Me.
Rescue Me.
Rescue Me.
And
Save me.
Which is a great fucking series that gets
Greg
no respect.
Greg Giraldo contended that he stole his act from.
Yes,
Bill
correct.
Hicks.
Yeah.
So he got up to. He was never in it for the comedy.
He did like
as a
that
comedian.
song.
I'm an
Asshole,
asshole that Louis
But
says
wait,
he stole
got
from him.
famous on. They were talking about Dennis Leary, not Dennis Miller.
Yes, he got famous for the same thing that.
No, they were talking about Dennis Miller in this
Swear,
episode.
they were talking
They
about
both
Dennis
do
Leary.
rants, so
I'll bet
smoking.
you.
So
I'll
I'm
bet
confused.
I'll bet you $100 they were talking about Dennis Miller.
I thought they were also talking about Dennis Miller. I have to. Who was on MTV? That's how we'll know who they
was
were
Dennis
talking
Leary.
about.
It was Dennis Miller they were talking
Okay,
about.
hold on,
No.
hold on. We're gonna find out right now.
100%, Kamar.
He was smoking a cigarette and saying what the problem was. The point being is also, the reason was he left MTV and got super big, and MTV didn't get a piece of it. And so after that, they were
Well, Cure for Cancer was huge.
screw people over. Like they wanted to give him $500 for what his clip did or whatever. But was there a time we say MTV will be no more?
Well,
It's still around. It still
I never thought that
exists.
MTV would switch to non-music because like they don't really have any music
Seemed
anymore.
like a thing that would be an institute, though. You know, like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like the news or whatever.
Yeah.
And like it used to be so big.
He's right. Dennis Leary, remote control, MTV. Dennis Miller, never on MTV. They both smoked cigarettes. They both
Dennis
did
Miller did
rants.
Monday Night
Smoke
Football,
cigarettes.
though, but they
Dennis
were talking
Miller
about
did.
Dennis Miller.
Miller did Monday Night Football, not Dennis Leary.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. They obviously were talking about Dennis Leary. Remote
was-
control. I remember them saying remote control. I just
was Dennis Leary.
I didn't know any. I didn't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Dennis Miller did do Monday Night Football. Yeah, baby. It's like the
Dennis
goals
Miller
are
did
back
it.
in the Robins porch
Yeah.
with Caesar and tow.
Dennis Leary was the one who, the joke stealer.
And they talked about in the last one about how Norm says, he doesn't know any of that stuff, eh? He
Yeah.
just reads and
He just
repeats
yeah.
it.
About Dennis Miller.
Dennis Miller.
That's yeah. So
See,
that
they
was
were
in this
talking about
episode.
Dennis
Dennis
Miller,
Leary's
yeah.
who they're talking about, MTV, who got big off his rants, became a big star, and MTV didn't get a piece of it.
But they, in that same conversation, they
Yeah.
talked about.
It felt that way.
Okay, I'm
It's
fucking
whatever. It's the
confused.
Mandela
Whatever.
effect. We're all-
You're gonna. Oh no, you won't. Anyways, okay, go on.
Late night is probably going to go the way of the dodo bird.
Yes, as it should.
It's
It's very archaic.
But you were talking about how it used to break comedians, like it did. It used to
Yeah,
be
but
a
now
big thing.
podcasts have taken the place. No one needs. You'd rather have a comedian in conversation than like just going up and doing their 5-minute set.
Everyone was so used to like
I don't
getting
know.
ready for bed, watching the News 11, and then watch late night.
They
to
say
see celebrity
they
interviews.
say that, and then like Jimmy Fallon becomes really popular. So
It's not the same. It's not the same. Like I bet Jimmy Fallon probably wants Joe's numbers. As what it once was.
yeah,
when
sure.
It was
I mean,
Letterman and
whatever, I don't know.
like he said there was a point, and I think he was being honest. They said when there were TV commercials, you could watch the reservoir drop because everyone would flush their toilets.
The whole thing. There's only one stick left.
It's fine. What? Come on.
Yes, I heard that. I heard
missed
that.
it.
I heard that when I was young.
It was like everyone did stuff at the same time because if you missed anything during the commercial break, right?
What?
You'd go to take a piss during the
Oh, I
commercial break.
see, yeah,
'Cause
okay.
if you miss anything, you couldn't DVR it or whatever. Like people were glued to the set, literally.
I wonder if it had something to do with like a mass hypnosis thing. You know?
There was just a mass consciousness of behavior.
That this is what
around
I'm
media.
saying. This mass consciousness, and they don't
Morphic
have. They
resonance.
don't have. Thank you. They don't have that anymore.
I like how Gilbert Gottfried most of his like super famous pop culture was just Friends. He was like, I wonder what it's like to be one of the friends. Like that was just
Yes,
like
yes.
that was the epitome of fame to him.
He's not out there.
It's $1
chasing
million
it, man.
an episode, man. Oh, you guys never guessed what he was worth. Fuck.
Did you look it up?
Yeah.
Oh,
5 million.
what he's worth? 18.5.
We'll split the difference. 8 million.
Oh,
It's probably
Kamar's
worth 40.
closer. He's probably worth 40.
3D movies came and went. Do you feel?
I saw a 3D movie last week.
And it was
What
good.
movie?
Dune.
That's in 3D.
Yeah.
Give me a fucking.
And it was a better experience, you think, because of 3D?
I don't mind 3D. It's not as aggressive as it was back
No,
then.
no,
Like,
no. The red and the blue is ridiculous.
I find
Yeah.
those glasses super annoying. I can see the glasses, the edge of the glasses. They have to make them big enough that you never see anything but the screen.
Or, I mean,
Fucking
in this
stupid morons.
time, it might be a moneymaker. You should have your own pair.
By the way,
You
Gilbert
just know if you go to
Gottfried.
the movie, you bring.
Gilbert Gottfried is correct as well. They do film it with 2 cameras. That's how it works.
Okay.
Have any
3D
guys
movies,
seen
he was not-
3D
Really,
television?
really, Kamar, it should be lenses. What are they called? Fucking
Kamar, the TV in my room is 3D.
And it projects stuff sometimes.
You have to put on the glasses.
You have to. You probably put it
what
on
do you call
glasses.
glasses that aren't glasses? You stick them in your eye.
Contact
Contact
lenses.
Contact lenses. Thank you. That's what 3D
Well, that'd be
glasses
interesting.
should be.
That'd be interesting.
Nothing but that's the totally immersive experience.
I see it, just so you don't see the edge. either.
That
Kamar.
and they should give you ear.
Earbuds.
Thank you. What the fuck
I
is
don't know what's
wrong
going-
with
you're having a
me,
stroke or
man?
You
something?
having a case of Kamars.
The interesting thing about that 3D TV, I didn't know until I got it home that it was 3D because it came with glasses. I was like, what the fuck are these? There was nothing
content.
One thing I think it was called like Black Ops, Call of Duty 2 was 3D. It had the option, and it was like interesting, like playing a video game in 3D was, but it's not like the depth of it isn't the same as in the theater or anything. At least that's not how I remember it. Because the theater, there's actual like, it feels like there's some good depth.
I saw Tan. I thought it was cool.
Could you watch a movie on the Oculus Rift?
I believe you can, yes. But
that would be the total
but
immersive.
someone has to make it too. Like it's if you watch VR porn, like if you look away, it's 2 screens like for each eye.
Is that what he meant by the 2 cameras?
You understand what I'm saying?
If you watch VR porn on a non-VR thing, I know what you mean. It's two different frames. It's like side by side of the
it's
same
like when
frame.
you take the glasses off during the movie.
No,
and
it's not like that. No. It would be like if you took the glasses off, the movie would be playing twice, split screen.
But they're almost blurry to sort of compensate.
I know,
for
it's
what
weird.
your eye brings
When
together.
you take the glasses off, it's impossible to watch that movie.
Yes.
It's very awkward.
You can't see anything.
I will say though,
Dune
was a decent movie to see 3D. I just figured if I'm going to see a big fucking
Yeah.
What theater did you go to, Matt?
I don't know, Simon. No, the one on Carling. The Coliseum, is that it?
Good for you, Matt.
Was there a lot of people there?
No, there was like 2 other. I've been to 2.
That's why the movie's
That's where you go though. That place
Jerk
is the
off.
fucking
way better.
Dude,
Kamar,
you're a
I've been to
sick fuck.
I've been to 2 movies in 2 weeks, and both movies four people in the whole thing. Me, Mary, and 2 other people.
I can't believe Dune. There were only 4 people.
Did you enjoy the
What
experiences?
night did you go that you only got 4 people?
Monday.
Did you enjoy the experiences? Both
Yeah.
times?
First of all, having the theater to yourself is fucking incredible. It's like when they were talking about renting out the theater. I'm like, you don't even
like
have to
Dave
bother
Chappelle?
anymore.
You like Dave Chappelle? Did you get popcorn and treats?
No, I'm trying to watch my weight. So
I thought about that. I think when I was a kid, that was half going to a movie. Like,
I was spending $80
take me to a
on
movie to get popcorn.
Did
and
you ever
licorice.
make out in the movies?
No, girls wouldn't make out with me when I was fucking young.
No, I know I have a friend who got molested in a theater.
Oh God.
Really?
A guy.
Oh
Really?
God.
Yeah, you know him too.
What?
Yeah.
I don't
Look
know.
at how
this
happy you are about this.
I don't know this story.
No, it was so crazy.
Give me initials. No,
Wow.
don't.
Yeah, of course. No, we were at a movie in.
Oh, you were there when it happened?
I was in the theater. I was.
With
the
the
fuck?
person?
We met these girls. We were somewhere in the States on a road trip.
A girl molested him?
Syracuse, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, we went to a movie, and some girl sat beside him and took his hand and put it down her shorts.
Okay, no one got
What?
molested.
What?
It is.
Well,
same thing.
but the person did something while they were down
No, they
the
were
shorts?
super like bummed after. Like I didn't know what to do. Like
You take your hand back and you
Of course.
bounce.
What are you talking about? You put that finger in.
we were all like
Gross.
17, 18, and we're
Yeah.
like, what
Oh
the
my
fuck?
God, an
Like,
18-year-old? You
it was-
wouldn't?
It was just a weird thing. Like I don't know what happened to you just now, man. He wasn't stoked about it.
She
It
must
was
have been
very,
ugly.
It was a very like a coming of age moment for all of us that like fucked up shit happens.
So how old was this woman? I don't understand why it was
She
so
might have been
fucked up.
15, 16. I don't know. It was in a mall in America. They can.
This is like the beginning of every hustler.
My buddy was telling me this story once, and he's like, yeah, we were in Utah, and we were like sleeping in our car, going somewhere, mountain biking or something, and we met this guy at like a bar or something, and he was this really nice older man, and he like offered to let us stay at his house, and right away, I'm like, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, get out of there.
Terrible. What are you even thinking? Right away. That's my very first thought. And the story ends up being like we had to sneak out in the middle of the night type of deal. And the whole time I'm just like, why would you ever put yourself in that
Yeah.
position?
just being horny.
What? There's no being horny.
If you want to have sex in a theater,
Okay, I'm done.
I don't know.
Anyways. Yeah, you don't even listen to what I say, do you? You're just looking at your screen, waiting for the next time you can interject your point,
like a robot.
like a robot,
What were you talking
like
about?
a
You don't even
selfish,
remember.
rude robot.
My bad. Then they brought up Jimmy Savile, which Gilbert had,
Never heard of.
but said under his breath. I'm sure this still happened today. Like he kept saying these things like,
Yeah.
don't think Me Too changed everything. At any point, Joe could have expanded on, but he was like,
That Jimmy Savile is crazy though. Like the fact that he
nuts.
got knighted by the Queen. That just, I'm really curious to know whether the Queen is that compromised that she's knighting pedophiles.
she's gonna die any day now.
Or if he was just so like had everyone duped. You know,
She's near the end.
the Queen.
Oh yeah, she had to cancel events. It's gonna be
And
good.
then what happens? What's his name becomes king? Prince Charles.
Well, first there's a funeral, and then there's
I mean, I understand
but
how
they're gonna be-
fucking
they're going to be what is it called when you get a crown? A reigning?
inaugurated
In crowned? Is that what you called it?
No, when you're
when you
getting
get
crowned.
a crown.
No, inauguration is president.
Oh, it's you get
Millions of people are screaming out right now.
emancipated? No.
Then they brought up there's a moment in time where vaginas were always being shown.
Yep.
And Gilbert obviously is a reference point, Basic Instinct,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which you've both seen.
Yeah.
Which is a weird,
Great movie.
who knows when it came out,
Gilbert
and how much it
Gottfried
cost to make.
was such a perv. He was like, I bet you he knew every nude scene by the numbers, you know?
Like
oh,
in,
Timestamp.
Like
Yeah.
in, what's that movie?
Yeah.
40-Year-Old Virgin?
yeah. I just rewatched that actually this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird to watch it. I had forgotten almost everything about it, to
Yeah.
tell you the truth. There are some really funny parts of it, and
Mm-hmm.
there are some really stupid parts of it. I forgot it was a Judd Apatow movie because he made some real fucking stinkers, but that
40-Year-Old
one
Version?
was a good movie. Yeah.
But everyone in that is like huge now, and they were
Huge.
nobodies in that.
Nobody. Well, Jim Carell.
But they look like
was.
they're somebodies because they
Not
are who they
Carell.
are.
Yeah, Steve Carell. Sorry.
So since they talked about it,
Steve Carell was a big name in that movie.
the only name yet.
And so was Paul Rudd.
The time has come again. For Matt and Simon, 2 racks that brings together the budget in the box office. We all know they won't guess the year, and the Patreons are the real winners here at the JREE movie game. Come on, take it away, baby.
Fuck yeah, it's the movie game where someone might go head to head to find out how much a movie costs and how much it may cost to make and how much it made at the box office.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Is everyone having a stroke?
No, I was just thinking the new format now, and they use the year it came out for the tiebreaker.
Sucks because I already wrote the year down. I was
Are
like,
we
the
really
first-
doing that? I don't like that at
Well,
all,
hey,
by the way.
that's why I just stumbled because I just realized.
Okay, well, we can go back to the other way. I thought it was one of you that said this was the way it should be. Let's go back. I don't care. I wrote a year down, Simon.
Okay, well, I'm going to write a year in a second. Hold on.
Because they used to guess what year it came out, how much it
Because they used to. Yeah.
and how much it
Can
made
you give
at
us the
box
stats
office.
on the movie, please? Kamar, you haven't done that yet.
Like who's in it?
Who's in it? Who directed it?
Directed by Paul Verhoeven. I'm wondering, like, did someone say show your cooch, or did she show her cooch and they said, yeah, we'll keep it?
She just showed up on set with no underwear and was like, this'll work.
Starring Michael Douglas, Sharon Stone, George DeZunda, and Jeannie Triplehorn. That's a great name.
I'm ready.
A story about a crime writer who murders are appearing all around her. That the same things appear in books.
Okay, I'm ready.
What year do you have?
1991.
That is the same year I have.
Oh, guys, 1992.
Oh,
Fucking
no.
bitch.
Oh, no.
So close. See, it cancels itself out, but that's one of the first times for the
That was
beginning of
very
season
good.
3
Congratulations, man.
You
That was
both
really
guessed
close.
the
Well,
wrong
we
year. but
both
it was-
guessed
you
wrong.
were-
But yes,
you were
congratulations to you too,
You were
Simon.
right. You were right.
Do you have the rest written down?
No, I don't.
Okay,
Do you
I
have
do.
the
Yeah,
rest?
yeah, I'm
Oh,
ready to go, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Keep in mind, movies like this, like how old was I? 92. I was 9. I just got to take a shot in the dark.
Well, you've seen it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You couldn't tell me how it ends, right?
Nope.
Is it her? Is it her? Is it her?
I assume it's her.
I believe it's her.
If I had to guess.
Plot spoiler.
Yeah.
1992. But she was superstar hot.
She was superstar hot in The Unforgiven. She's always been superstar hot.
Okay, I'm ready.
Casino was her.
Okay, well,
swan song.
but Casino there was
She's
like
still hot. She's hot. She is.
yeah,
super
but in
hot.
Casino they make her like that gross like mom hair. She looks like a Karen.
But it feels like that's happened to her.
Yeah. Okay, Simon, I'm ready. I'll go
I'm also
first.
ready.
I said it cost $16.4 million to make, and at the box office it brought in 58.7.
Wow, I said it cost $7 million to make. And
You're probably closer. Go ahead.
no,
Stop looking at him. Just say your fucking numbers.
215.
It cost $49 million to make.
What?
Holy fuck.
There's nothing in this movie that
I
should cost
know.
any money.
Dude, how much cocaine was on the set of this
Cameras,
movie?
lighting.
Oh, that's bullshit. Okay, and how
Okay.
much did it make?
We're both, well, you might be closer here because I said 58.
$352.9
Holy
million.
fuck.
Okay.
Sharon Stone's pussy is worth a ton of cash.
She wasn't even a fucking like big celebrity
Wow.
at this point.
Wow.
There's no way this movie should cost $49 million.
I don't know if I've ever been that far
That
off.
is insane.
That's why when he
This
said-
movie should cost exactly what I said, $7 million.
When he said $7 million, I was like, I can't believe it's so low.
I mean, I at least said 16, but that's still 16 is $33 million
What's the
off.
second movie we're doing?
You wanted to do Wayne's World.
Yes, thank
Want to
you.
do Wayne's World?
It's the JREE movie game.
All right, Wayne's World,
It's a
part
twofer.
2.
It's a twofer.
Yeah.
Because 11. And I hope you're playing at home.
Or at work.
Again, for anyone new to the show.
I hope you're playing at work.
The movie game, I use Wikipedia, and it's usually budgets do include marketing.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
This second movie is directed by Penelope Spheris. Wayne's World was directed by a
girl.
lady. That's amazing. Starring Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, Tia Carrera, Rob Lowe, Laura Flynn Boyle, and Ed O'Neill. Ed O'Neill from
Modern Family.
Modern Family. Always in the hunt, always around.
What do you got?
And we love Rob Lowe. He was on
Okay,
the show.
that's what I'm doing. You ready, Matt?
Yeah, I have a year. 1994.
I said 1992.
Came out the same year as Basic Instinct, 1992.
Yeah, baby.
And I didn't show you nothing.
Fuck me.
All right.
I didn't show you
Okay,
nothing.
so here we go.
I'm already ready.
That changes everything now that you know what Basic Instinct costs and made.
Well, that's insane. That doesn't make any sense. So,
Just write down your numbers.
yeah, I'm going to. Wayne's World.
A lot of pressure.
By the way, that Reese stick, oof, that was good.
They're great.
They're
man.
Dude, if they
amazing.
could make that into Blizzard, oh my fuck.
That re-stick is amazing, though. That wafer with the peanut butter, it's really just...
Do you like Butterfinger?
I like a Butterfinger.
I like a Butterfinger more than a Ritz.
A Reese?
The Reese, but that breaks it down.
Yeah, I don't like a
Less
Reese
at the
peanut
same
butter
time.
cup. I'm not a fan of those.
Do you know what makes Butterfinger crunchy?
Yeah, cornflakes.
Or, I just learned that, man.
Yeah.
It never stops, guys. You never stop learning. Okay, so a lot of pressure on Simon. This would be the first game of the year. Wow.
Okay,
Look at how much thought he's putting into it. Okay, well, I'll go first since I have no chance of the sweep. I said it cost $30.4 million to make, and it made $398.6. I'm probably way off. This thing probably made like
I said it
$570.
cost $17 million, and it made $179.
Wow. It cost $20 million to make
Oh, nice.
Wow.
and made $183.1
Holy
million.
fuck. Wow, we have a winner. We have a winner. We have a winner. We have a big time winner.
The confetti. What? That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, I got the year, too.
Nice. Wow, what a way to start off the year. It's a twofer movie game though, so that's sort of like it'll be
Whatever, he got the
considered-
second one.
it'll
Give it to him. What are you talking
it'll
about?
be
Dude,
considered when we
victories
look
on this
back.
are so few and far between. He just nailed the fucking, he hit for the
This
cycle
is
there.
so suspect.
Why? Oh,
Well,
because
because
of,
I suggested that we do Wayne's World.
I didn't even think
Yeah,
about
wow.
I could have easily have just looked
You're
all this
filth.
information up on it.
that. And he knows
I
not,
did.
don't
I
get it
did
right on the
not
nail.
do that.
Don't get it spot on.
I just
be
not
around
only
it.
that,
Just be around
don't
it.
put it spot on. Mention that you brought it up too to alleviate some of the guilt.
Why would I?
Yeah.
Why would I
mention it now?
tell
Yeah,
you guys.
Come on, I'm not like that.
That would be crazy for me to
Wouldn't
mention
it?
it.
Yeah, wouldn't
That would
it?
be crazy.
This is like a double pump fake. I'm telling
Well,
you, you're a genius.
yeah,
you're
I
an
know.
evil genius.
We can't.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll
It's like
never
JFK.
It's really.
And that's the movie game. That was amazing.
Hey, Simon, great work, pal.
Thanks, man.
Great
Thanks.
work.
I really appreciate it.
You know he's been to strip clubs.
Gilbert Gottfried. Well, who hasn't? Come on.
He sounds like he's been to a lot of strip clubs, though. Again, he knows the time of all the naked women. I'm sure he knows the names of all the ladies.
Excuse me, sweetheart. Are you a Jew?
Do you know? Do you know Super Sex in Montreal?
It burnt down.
What?
Suspected of arson.
Of course, it was owned by the Hells Angels.
But it's just so crazy. Like he said, strip bar is always sad, weird awkwardness.
Not in Canada.
Like I've been to strip clubs where it is just a party. Like maybe not people throwing money or stacks of cash in women's faces, but a jovial party experience. Like
It seems like in the States, though, it's a whole different thing.
There's no touching in the States. Dude, I got blown in the champagne room at Barbarella's.
there it is.
The New Den had a shower on the stage. Me and my dad were there every Sunday. The New Den was fucking wild. It was next level.
A shower on the stage. Really.
Yeah, a shower on the stage.
See, that sounds very American, too. Like
Last Dance.
Florida, I can imagine there's like a lot of showers on the stage.
Yeah, I don't think titty bars in the States are the same. Because I remember anytime an American, like, I remember too when I lived in Montreal, all these kids I sold weed to at McGill, I remember telling them, like, go to Super Sex. You can touch. And they were like, what do you mean you can touch? And I was like, I mean, you can touch the girls. And they were like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we live in the land of
Does
plenty.
seem weird, though,
But, like,
doesn't it? Saying it out loud?
Las Vegas has like,
That's different. You got to go outside the city.
what are they called?
Brothels.
Brothels. Thank you.
They're outside the city limits, though.
They're outside.
And they're not here.
And it's agreed that you're paying for sex.
Well, we have like rub and tugs and
The
stuff
strip clubs are still open. I thought they'd go under.
because of COVID.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that's definitely what I thought.
No, Bearfax is going strong
I
throughout
don't
this whole
think
thing.
anything that like people need like that is going out of business.
The point where I knew Gilbert was a little horn dog was when Joe brought up the brown rabbit.
The Brown Rabbit. I don't remember that.
The video where the girl actually blows. No, it's a movie. It's a movie.
Oh, with Chloe Sevigny.
No, but
and he
says
knew
it
how
like
to
that.
pronounce her name.
He said it like Joe goes, you know that brown Peter Rabbit or whatever it was with Chloe Sevigny. Yes. Yeah, girl, very talented. Yeah, that did ruin. Like,
Have you watched that?
yeah, just that clip though.
Is it like
A nice
really
blowjob. Yeah,
just
great.
her blowing him?
Yeah.
That's really wow. That's something, man. And that guy directed that movie. Like, of course. That's,
Yeah.
And,
Listen, you are going to have to blow me. I don't have any. There's no way around this.
and they were in a relationship.
dude, that's forget that. No way they weren't. It sounds like a total like Book of Mormon thing, you know? Not Book of Mormon, like John Smith or whatever his name was.
the guy that
comes back to the wife and he's like, you know, I can have multiple wives. You can't
God,
have
God
multiple
said I was supposed to
husbands.
fuck
Yeah,
everyone.
exactly.
You, on the other hand, God said specifically your vagina would rot off.
Yeah. Anyways.
Come on, are you done? That's it?
Go on.
No,
Connor.
two more points, but they talked about like how for some reason a lot of sex is damning. You know what I mean? That just brings you down, like consensual sex even.
What are
like-
you talking about?
Well, Gilbert contended that everyone gets away with having sex with a lot of girls, but I guess Larry David does, but like Tiger Woods didn't. He didn't do anything wrong, but it's sort of.
Well, he cheated on his wife.
I guess that's the problem. You can have sex with as many people as you want, but
If you're
in a
single.
relationship, yeah.
Yeah, like look at Leonardo DiCaprio. He fucks. That's all he
Yeah,
does, and
nobody
no one
cares.
gives a shit.
He's not married. He's not
In
cheating
fact,
on his wife.
he gets a new girlfriend every 4 years on the dot, and they're always this. They stay the same age, and no one gives a shit.
But there are probably directors with wives, and they all know about the casting couch. As Gilbert was saying, I'm sure it still goes on.
The wives know about the casting couch?
Well, Harvey Weinstein was married.
Really?
He was
Oh yeah, I guess he must. Who was he married to?
a woman,
Oh,
a
was-
very
oh,
hot
was
woman.
he-
A
what-
woman.
Was she really hot?
Yeah, super hot. He does an amazing Seinfeld impression.
Yeah,
Like he's been around all the comics. I agree with you guys. It is sort of weird that they never crossed paths.
Just a bit.
But he's been around, and he was gonna have so much fun. I was so stoked for the people who went to Skankfest because he's one of the funniest comedians I've ever seen.
He's hilarious. He's so funny.
Yeah.
I give it a 3. Simon, do you want to rate it?
She's hot.
I give it a 3 as well.
What was this? Gilbert Gottfried? I give it a.
That's so funny. That shows you that money really is like.
Yeah, give it a 3. Hit the button, Matt.
No, did Kamar give it a 3?
Yeah.
I did.
Oh my God. We have an agreement. Don't get a lot of those around here. All right, let's move on to this last fucking snooze fest.
1730. Cameron Haynes.
Here's
Total
where it
disclaimer.
all falls
Hold on.
apart.
Total
Here's where it all
disclaimer.
falls apart.
Total disclaimer for me. Cam Haynes seems like a salt of the earth dude. I have no problem with Cam Haynes whatsoever. Just don't care about this episode.
Yeah.
And it really just seems
I'm
like
in the exact same boat. And had he been on once or twice, I would still be a huge Cam Haynes fan. But I'm just bored. Like,
and even worse
there's
was
nothing new.
when Joe said at one point during the podcast, he said to him, you know, this is just like a conversation we'd have at dinner. Like, these are the conversations we have. We've had this. I thought to myself, this is all you guys talk about always? Just like the same. Like, it seemed just like a big agreement fest. Like, Joe would just say something that Cam definitely already knew, and Cam would be like, yeah, no, for sure, yeah.
Interesting.
And it seemed like a lot of just Joe, like, I'm living the way everyone needs to live. This is it. Fucking get on or shut up. And then there was all his memes this week, which were fucking hilarious. Joe seemed like the ultimate boomer this week. And I don't know if you've seen his subreddit.
Cameron Haynes?
No, Joe Rogan's right now. It's just so many people posting videos of like large, pleasant gatherings on beaches and in bars in Australia.
Oh, because they're back in business.
Well, they're just like, there's no fucking police state here.
Yeah. There's a bit of hyperbole always with Joe.
Country's run by sissies.
They're talking about people who let fighters who let themselves go.
Yeah.
If Joe doesn't stay in shape, he will turn into Danny DeVito.
Oh, yeah.
Joe is so fucking big. During the
UFC.
No, the UFC too, but during the Ari Shaffir episode there, just looking at him and Ari, like he is just, they're two totally different things, you know?
Yeah. Well, he's afraid that if he wears a tie, someone might choke him and kill him. So he has to be jacked and ready to kill at all times.
He is so big.
But if he let himself go, he would turn into literally Danny DeVito.
Not Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito
Danny
is
DeVito.
like 4'2".
Oh, man. Okay, height.
Joe is like 5'6".
He has no choice but to work out till he dies. They talked about Usman and Colby. Do you guys watch the fight?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think it could have been stopped
When
he knocked him out?
When who knocked
Usman
who
knocked Colby out.
Gave him a pretty good shot, but no,
He kept going, but he was like, I've seen fights where they have stopped it.
No, he was barely wobbled. Like, I couldn't see that fight being stopped.
I felt
personally.
like that, whatever that exchange was like smelling salts for him. And he was better after that.
It was like Michael Chandler at one point. What's his
Michael
name?
Chandler got
knocks
fucking-
him out. In my opinion, anyways, he's lying on top of him, and that gives him enough time to like come back to his senses. But there's a second there where he's definitely on Queer Street, and it just happened that they both ended up like, you know,
Oh, he got fucking
on the
dusted.
ground.
He got absolutely
Anyways.
dusted.
Usman's the best ever, eh?
Usman's great. So is fucking what's his name, man.
I mean, listen, to have never in your career been taken down, 0 takedowns,
Well, he took him down.
didn't count as a takedown.
Did
That
not
is a
count. Did
crazy
not
stat.
count.
That is a crazy stat.
insane.
Never.
Well,
been
and he's
taken down.
20-1 or something.
Yeah. And he's defended the title more than anyone at this point, as far as in that division. I think John Jones has the most title defenses ever. But it's crazy. Yeah, listen, he's got to be in the conversation as.
And as far as like being a blowhard and losing, Colby Covington did it with class. You know what I mean?
No, we don't know what's going to happen, what he's going to say. He always talks
No,
shit. after
in the
fight.
ring, he was like, "This is for the first responders." You know what I mean? He still was the guy, even though they both said like, off camera, on camera, he's two different people.
Yeah, of course. Listen, at the end of the fight, he went up to him and said, he's like, it's all
exactly.
just for money.
Exactly. They
So,
hugged it out. That was
yeah,
that
that's
was a
all,
touching
you know.
moment. They both won that fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it could have been bad, but
I'm sure they both got paid. I'm sure they both got pay-per-view points. It was probably a huge pay-per-view.
because
There's
I was
no more Red
thinking
Bull
when
now.
I was watching it, it's the mass of the positives. You know what I mean? But at the end of the fight, if someone is now taken over, it's that they didn't finish in enough time. Right?
What do you mean?
Someone could have the momentum when the fight ends,
Yeah.
but the other person wins when it comes to decision.
Yeah.
Do you know
Well,
what
that's
I mean?
just, I mean, you have 25 minutes to get it done. You can't argue like, oh, well, I was really bringing it on at the end. Like, listen, you had 25 minutes. If you couldn't fucking pull it off in 25 minutes, you don't just deserve unlimited time because your cardio's great.
And it was so weird that he got poked in the eye with like 30 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was a bad enough eye poke to justify, like, good on him, too, for not trying to fucking milk it or, you know. There's nothing he could have done in that last 40 seconds.
Usman's coach was loving it, eh? This
Who,
is what
Trevor
we do.
Whitman? Trevor
This is what
Whitman,
we
yeah.
do. Like it was so much positive. And then Colby Cummings, it was like, okay, breathe.
Yeah.
But he came up in the end and like, they both just proud. Rose was boring. It was just interesting listening to this.
I'll take one, sure.
I listened to this today,
Yeah.
and so I knew the result.
Yeah, I listened to this one today as well, so I also knew all the results. He picked Chandler. Terrible choice. Simon picked Gaethje to knock him out in the second round, and he had him like
and was on top of him. This is what I'm saying, man.
didn't matter. The rest of that
turned
card,
on him.
I know.
yeah, the rest of that card went fucking dead for you quick anyway.
That's the best ticket in town right now, eh?
What?
UFC fighting, like.
What do you mean the best ticket? Like,
Well, Canelo and that other guy fought last night too. This was bigger, I think.
as far as fighting, UFC is the best ticket in town. Yeah.
And it just is like blood sport and like it's the place to be.
I don't know why anyone would want to watch boxing over fucking UFC at this point.
Yeah.
It's taken over for sure.
Think about it. Even, and it's rare, but let's say there was like 4 like slow, kind of heavy on the jiu-jitsu ground game fights, and you're not into that. There's still going to be good fights. Like you can have a boxing night that's so fucking boring. Like you could watch a whole card of boxing and sleep through it. Like just there's, I don't know.
I do know. UFC is way more exciting to watch.
Way
or
more.
actually any mixed martial arts. But I get boxing now in my, like the challenge of it with the parameters provided.
I wonder what Cameron Haynes' view on Bigfoot is. Joe's never asked him.
Oh, here we go.
I would
That
be
could have changed this
interested.
whole thing around.
I'd be interested to know. He's in the woods a lot, so I'd be interested to know what he has heard or seen that he can explain or can explain. Or
He is in the woods a lot.
be very interesting.
They were talking about that $1 trillion bill.
There's a $1 trillion bill.
They were talking about the bill that's big. They were talking about Biden being senile or
The
whatever.
infrastructure
There's no
bill,
way.
the $1 trillion infrastructure bill.
I know what you're saying. It is crazy that Joe Biden had fucking open brain surgery or whatever it's called, open head surgery,
I just think it's called brain surgery.
where they cut the top of your there's different types of brain
Cranial,
surgery.
okay, sure. I don't think any of us know the proper term.
That's a huge surgery. You know what I mean? There's no way that guy should be running the free world. Period.
Probably not.
But that was so the exchange I felt was like, obviously they aren't running the free world, or haven't been for a long time. Presidents.
Well, that's the wrong guy to use as your puppet then, because
An actual puppet. Fucking old marionette.
a real Weekend at Bernie's, like it's a real.
Should have been
fucking-
Bernie.
He looks like a Jeff Dunham puppet.
What would be the difference between him and Bernie Sanders? You know, at this
A
point,
huge difference. Are you kidding?
you don't think Bernie would be better?
Bernie would be
I
way
think
better.
Bernie
That's
would
what I
be
think.
way
Yeah.
better,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
they're two totally like Bernie's uncontrollable.
Yes, that exposes the who's in charge, right?
Yes.
Not the president.
Okay.
If Joe Biden cannot be in charge right now, we
No,
agree,
I
we agree,
don't think
we
he
agree
can
about
be, yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
There's some sort of handler thing or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
JFK is the original conspiracy. Can you think of anything you heard of before that?
That's the original conspiracy.
Maybe
No, there had
The
to have been.
moon landing, what
It's
came
after.
first?
Moon landing
It's after.
Moon landing is after.
What
yeah.
year was JFK?
49.
There had to be big conspiracies surrounding
I just said that confidently. I don't know that. Don't fact check me. Fuck.
the
I'm
market. The
fact
market
checking.
crash in 29. There had to have been conspiracies surrounding that. There's no way.
The Great Depression.
Yeah, right. There can't. I just whenever there's something.
I appreciate you throwing it out there, but there's nothing.
Well, I
specific.
mean, there is for sure the pyramids.
Yeah, I'm just saying. As far as like
But
the
what
run
was
of the banks
talked
or something.
about?
you're also talking about the beginning of like television. Once things became televised, I feel like conspiracies really kind of took off.
more access. Well, I mean, until I listened to Joe Rogan, I never considered anything other than what was said about the pyramids.
Yeah, no. Why would you?
Do you know what I mean?
You can just say it, Simon, instead of writing it down.
No, this is for later.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
Kamar, I agree. If pre Joe Rogan, I was just like, yeah, they're there, they're old. I don't fucking care. I don't
You
fucking
knew about
know.
JFK.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. Well, when did JFK the movie come out? 94, something like that. We're not doing another movie game, but something like that. I remember that movie.
I had not, but you were like, the government's up to shit.
Well, no, I was
Something's
10
fishy.
years old in 94,
That's fair,
so
that's fair. That's fair.
I would say that, yeah, as far as like, I don't know.
I remember renting from Bob's a dark summer in October or whenever it was.
Bob's? Where's
Bob's
Bob's?
video.
Where's
in
that?
Glebe. You
Where,
never went there?
where was that?
It was above the
The dry cleaner?
815 Heart and Crown, above the dry cleaner. Yeah, that's the one.
I don't think it's called Bob's.
It was called Fourth Avenue Video.
Fourth Avenue video, but Bob was the guy that worked.
Okay, well, it wasn't called.
I knew
Bob's,
it was
so-
Bob. We didn't just.
Either way, that was the best video store ever in history.
And I saw a documentary about it. Did you get it? It was 49. I think it's the first conspiracy theory.
For me, I think conspiracies really came on my radar for like 9/11 because I was 20 at that point. You know, the internet was around. But I guess, yes, JFK was probably the real.
JFK was for sure for me the first. Well, I mean, Bigfoot, JFK. I'm being serious here. Like that.
No, I'm
was,
trying to. Bigfoot, Mysteries of the Unknown would have been like.
That's not, but that's not necessarily a conspiracy.
Well, the
Like no one's withholding Bigfoot.
Stonehenge.
well, yes, they are. Hold
Oh, here
on a
we go.
second.
I don't care.
But the movie, the Patterson Gimlin film, is a conspiracy. If you want to look at it that way, you know, it either is or it isn't.
Atlantis.
Atlantis.
They are.
Oh no,
The
Atlantis.
government has a part in hiding Bigfoot for sure. I don't know why the fuck they want to do it.
So all the world's governments, not just because you believe that it's
Well,
all over the world,
I
right?
think
So it's not
each
just
government probably deals with it in its own way, the same way each government would deal with aliens in their own way, Matt.
Gotcha.
You know, disclosing to their population about Navy encounters or whatever. I just, yeah, for sure.
The Bermuda Triangle.
What about it?
That's the first conspiracy.
Loch Ness.
I guess it's not conspiracy though. It's hard.
again. There's no conspiracy
not a
there. It's not someone
conspiracy.
being like
Mystery.
You're right.
It's a
Those
mystery.
are
Scotland's withholding
those are
Nessie.
those are cryptids.
Mysteries.
JFK is a conspiracy. Did
Like
the
Stonehenge.
government do it or the mafia?
Sure. Like
or-
again, Stonehenge isn't a conspiracy. Although I'm sure you're gonna pull some
Well,
like
I could tell
here
you
we-
some
yeah,
conspiracies
here we go.
about Stonehenge for sure, but you're right, not in the same way. I would put that and the pyramids. That's not really a conspiracy. It's a world marvel that we don't have an explanation for.
Mysteries of the Unknown.
First of all, conspiracies have been happening since the dawn of fucking time.
course.
So that's just two people getting together and conspiring.
Oh, I'm not
Well,
saying conspiracy is
a
a bad thing,
conspiracy could be like
First thing on my radar.
Alexander being gay.
Sure.
Jesus.
That would be a
Maybe Napoleon wasn't
Jesus.
5'2".
Immaculate
Yeah,
Reception.
Yeah. Well,
It's
that,
true. He didn't catch it.
that is kind of a conspiracy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. Whether dinosaurs are real, it's a conspiracy.
Can't-
Flat Earth. There's another conspiracy.
That's newer though. That's very
No, that's
new.
super old. No, flat Earth
I
is
don't know
very
how-
When
old.
did Flat Earth
don't know
first
how
come
I avoided
into?
If Cam could, he would
I heard
say,
a great. Sorry, go ahead. I heard a great conspiracy theory the other day.
Okay.
It's called the flat Bigfoot theory, and it's
I
that
fucking hate you.
Bigfoot is a real creature, but when it turns sideways, it's like a piece of paper. That's why you can never see it. Flat Bigfoot.
That's the fucking dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Of course, it was a joke.
Flat Bigfoot.
What was I looking up though?
How much Gilbert Gottfried's worth?
No. We were just talking about a conspiracy.
We were just talking about
Kamar.
100 conspiracies.
Come on, man.
Oh, it was flat Earth. You wanted to know
Oh,
when flat Earth.
yeah.
Like the 1400s.
Yes, of course.
That's what I
Of
said.
course, yeah, don't even look that up.
No,
fucking-
it's like way
But what
old.
is that?
Yes,
Galileo,
that's what I'm
but
saying.
what? But
When you were like,
what?
it's pretty new, I was like, no, it's one of the
That's
oldest.
first
Yeah.
conspiracy
You're right,
theory.
that's
It's
true.
flat Earth.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Oh wow,
Because it was
we just walked around
It
that.
was Christopher Columbus and sailing
Well, that means it's
off
real.
the edge
Then
of
it
the
goes
earth.
away, comes back.
It was
and
Magellan,
laughs at
right?
himself.
Didn't they lock Magellan up? Because he's, I don't know, whatever. What do I know? I'm a fucking idiot.
Christopher Columbus.
I'm a fucking idiot.
At one time proved that it was flat.
Well,
No?
that's another conspiracy theory, Christopher Columbus.
Okay, what's the conspiracy
Vikings?
there?
Well, that he was a good guy and
That's just a
discovering
fact.
the free world, where really he was a terrible guy who was raping and pillaging all the indigenous people.
Interesting.
and
Interesting
We
take.
celebrate him, and they have statues to him and a holiday to him, and really he's a fucking terrible, terrible, terrible guy.
I mean, I would say that Werner von Braun is a better example of that, a far better example of that.
Well, that's one that exists right now and nobody even blinks about. But Columbus, they canceled it. It's now Indigenous Peoples Day or something.
What do you think they say on the tour at NASA when they...
I'm dying to know. Here is Walt Disney's best friend.
Here's a Jew killer. We have a bronze
Like,
statue of
what
him.
the fuck? How come this is totally... Because nobody cares about Jews. That's why I'm at.
It just seems pretty egregious, that one.
Nobody cares
Okay.
about Jews.
Okay.
No, it's so egregious that...
And keep in mind, I love
Oh,
making Jew jokes.
Can I tell
so-
you why, Matt?
Sure.
It's because he's so tied into the fabric of American culture, sending man to the moon and all of that. Yeah, it
I don't
would
think you get a pass.
discredit the
I don't
government.
think you get a pass.
Nobody knows about Operation Paperclip and bringing the Nazi scientists over here or Werner von Braun. I'm telling you, you ask.
Okay, but hear me out. Why put up the statue then?
Not 1 out of 100 Americans
Why put?
know
But
that.
then just hear me out. He's part of the fabric of American society, which I don't believe. Because if you ask the average American who he is, they'd be like, I have no
Because
idea.
they're running with the whole thing.
My point though is like, if you don't want to bring attention to something, don't make a statue about him.
Again, it's kind of like me and mentioning the fact
You
that
and Wayne's World. Yeah,
it's-
gotcha.
They're playing one step ahead. No, I don't know why, Matt. It's egregious. It's probably because it's actually Nazis that are still running the government.
Because Christopher Columbus, not in his defense, but there was a lot of raping and pillaging back then. That was commonplace. We can all agree with that,
Spaniards
right?
did it.
The
He
natives
was
did it to
Spaniard,
each other.
No, he was Italian.
He was Italian, yeah. But yeah, like literally,
Portuguese were apparently savages.
there wasn't a people on earth that were like civilized back then, so to
Again,
speak.
I always
There
say,
were
watch the
The
mission.
Atlantans.
Okay.
Conspiracy theory.
There's another.
Conspiracy
That's
theory.
another conspiracy.
I
That
said
might be
that.
one
I
of the
said
first.
that. I said that when we were just
You did
bombarding them.
Atlantis.
Yes, he said he said Atlantis.
He said
and then
the
I corrected him.
Bermuda
Well,
Triangle.
that's Uncle Joey. That's another conspiracy theory.
Can I tell you something? This is how stupid I am. Okay, I
Please.
swear to you. Triangle.
Yeah.
3 angles. I had literally never thought about that before. Triangles. That's why it's called a triangle.
And a biangle.
A biangle.
That's not a thing.
A bangle.
No, but seriously, you're just so used to saying something. Because a square isn't called a square because
It's not called a quad angle.
a circle isn't but just a triangle.
Well, there's an angle. There's a triangle. That's the missing thing for fucking Weinstein.
My favorite thing though, Simon, is
do you
biangle,
understand what I'm saying?
The dose angle.
Simon, my favorite thing though
angle?
is that that's how they used to name things so simply.
So simply.
Like, what's this? This is called grassy knoll. Like, what is this? It's a triangle.
Sometimes, and sometimes it's totally random. A chair.
Yeah. Well, square. Why a square?
Why a square? Why a circle?
Yeah.
Why anything else except for a triangle?
I mean, circle and square probably come from some sort of Latin, if I had to guess.
You know what's one of the
Cercle.
one of the funniest bits is Gary Gulman, and it's why the states are named the way they are.
The abbreviations.
The best. And clean as a whistle. Cam would like to sing his praise for Trump. Every time Joe says something, he wants to sort of like, he said, these guys are so stupid. And Cam goes, be careful. You're talking about me. Like he loves Trump. I'm sure of it.
Or you
guys
think
don't
he might
agree?
be like a QAnoner?
No, he's not a QAnoner. But they were talking about this as how the cults happen, and religion's still going strong is the proof that it will always happen. It's not so far fetched for people to believe into something. You know what I mean? No matter what it is.
Yeah, and you don't even have
religion's
to.
the
And
evidence that
the
it's
worst
always
part
gonna
is you don't
happen.
even have to be stupid.
No.
Like we have a lot of proof that really smart people, well, A, are religious, but B, get conned into cults, right? It's not just dumb people.
But for religion, like for the older religions, because they've been around so long, you'll give them a pass, and you're like,
I don't.
You're not stupid if you believe in that.
Exactly.
And then the newer religions, like Scientology, is what kind of proves to you that even in modern day, anything is possible.
Well, you could believe the QAnon stuff. You could believe a Jeffrey Koresh. You could believe a Jim Jones.
Jeffrey Koresh. David?
Thank you. Waco.
His brother? He's like, he was actually a pretty good guy.
You talked about how your life is worth $10 million.
No, one day of your life.
Exactly. But do you think your life 10 years would be worth $10 million? I don't think that, you know what I mean?
So you're asking me if today someone came up and said, I'll give you $10 million, but 10 years from today exactly, you will die. Do I take the $10 million?
Or if you go to jail for 10 years, is that worth $10 million?
No.
That option didn't cross my mind.
Well, that's
Either way, my answer is no. But as far as I'm a coin toss on that one, and I'll tell you why.
You might take $10 million for 10 years?
Yeah. I'll tell you why. If this guy's guaranteeing that I live for 10 years, is that it? I'm guaranteed 10 years.
So that means you have security and handlers around you at all times?
I'm just saying, like, if he's saying I can guarantee that you won't die, you'll have 10 years. So, like, he can see the future. You know, I'm not going to die in a car crash. No fucking drunk driver hops a curb. Nothing. I'm just saying, not every day. Like, I could say no to that and then die tomorrow or a year from now.
I feel like 5 years.
you wouldn't be able to spend the money anyways if that.
5 years. 5 years, I could blow $10 million, find out the money isn't everything, and
That's what you assume would happen.
and die content. You know what I mean? 5 years from now, for sure. So it's not 10 million for one day, and I'm sure there's lots of people that would take 10 million for 20 years. For sure, you take it, or would you? That'd be a good premise, wouldn't it be? A mortgage on your life.
Well, that means I'd live till 60. I could for 20 million, or it was 10 still? It's still 10 for 20 years?
What are you trying to negotiate?
It's still 10 for 20.
Well, no, I'm thinking here.
Can we do 5 for
Just
30?
thinking. I'm thinking. I'm like, I don't know.
What about 7
Because the
for
one day
13?
isn't enough. Whatever, you got $10 million in 24 hours.
No.
You can't do anything, so it's not really
No,
getting the
you would
money.
need at least a year.
Yeah.
Yes, I bet you many people would take that year.
No, not a year. That's crazy.
To some, if you're 89,
Well,
That's totally different, of course. Yeah. Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah, no, 10 years makes more sense. Would
10
you
years?
take 10 years?
Yeah.
10 years you have to sit down with your family and think about it. Like,
It's going to be the best 10 years of your life, and you're going to leave your family all that money. It doesn't disappear when
or you
you
blow
die.
it. If,
No, I'm
providing
asking
you are thrifty. Or
No, yeah, you
frugal,
can do whatever you want with it. I'm with you. So at this point,
a legacy. You can
because
build a
I'm never
museum.
going to make any money to leave anyone anything, so I think I'd probably just
So
take
you're like, whatever, how old are you now?
38.
38. So you'll live till you're 48.
Yeah.
But then Mary gets all that money.
I'd leave a bunch to my nephews. And then, yeah, I'd leave a bunch to Mary.
You'd be your legacy.
Yeah.
And plus, you'd live large
Oh, yeah.
for the next couple years.
For 10 years.
The one day is definitely no.
I think it would make sense if the offer was 10 years.
Oh, so you're
But-
trying to fucking bargain it down too
but-
now,
no,
aren't you,
no.
a Jew?
But
oh, when I was
unlimited-
doing it, it was a big joke.
Unlimited money for 10 years.
That's way different.
so greedy.
Wait, yeah.
It's unbelievable.
You
fucking
don't get
guy.
to leave anything. But you are going to live like the biggest baller for 10 years.
Right now, 10 million doesn't
It's
seem
not
enough to you.
enough. No, because you're going to have to like be able to throw money around for 10 years, you know?
Without having to have anything on the 10th year.
So, but with that,
is that like you have
but
to
Simon, that's
set
different.
yourself
With
up for your
unlimited
life
money,
after?
I can fix a lot of the world's problems before I go too, right? In 10 years, if I have unlimited money.
Also, if it's 10 years, you think with $10
Yeah,
million,
that's
you
not- that
might be able
can't
to
be
figure a
right.
way out of it.
Can't be right.
You're that cocky. I'm this successful.
Yeah,
You
you're
know
going
what
to
I mean?
solve the problem. You'll just
Maybe.
get Elon on it.
Maybe buy your way out of it. Oh my God. Have you seen Narcos Mexico season 3?
Is it out?
It's, oh my God. Okay, we'll save it for post show.
Wow. No, don't. No, you're not going to say shit about it because I'm going to watch it. I love Narcos Mexico. It is incredible.
He's I'll say this also about Cam. He's a shill for big running. You know, like, he's harmless, right? Like
He's harmless. Yeah. I have no problem with him. I just enough already.
They talk about the benefits of hunting, give some health tips.
Hold on, I want to say
experience
this too.
suggestion.
It was funny how Joe was like, the reason you have millions of Instagram followers is because you get up and because you do it every day. And I was like, and because you've been pushing him for years on your massive platform. I was like, I don't know if Cam Haines posting a photo of his watch gets him to millions.
Cam Haines can't be doing that well because he still
Has a
works
weird
at
job,
his
yeah.
job that he obviously doesn't
It
love.
sounded like that. It sounded like that. It
So
sounded like he
what's
didn't love his
what's
job.
going on?
But I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, if anything else, Joe should just be fucking letting Cam live any way he wants. He introduced him to hunting.
Nobody does that. That's not a thing.
It's not a thing, eh? Nobody helps
I
anybody.
think it is for rappers with their entourage
Yeah.
and athletes, and it never
But
ends well.
Nobody just wants to take money. Or nobody just offers
I
money.
couldn't tell if Cam Haines is doing poorly or not.
If you had a lot of money, like $100 million,
Mm-hmm.
would you help out your friends?
Of course.
100 million?
Yeah,
of course.
that's what Joe has.
Of course, but I'm sure it would end up bad, like one of those monkey paw things. You know,
And then
If I have
who do you-
100
who do
million,
you
Simon,
help and who do you not help?
If I have 100
do you
million,
decide that this guy's worth it and this guy's not, or he has some money, so I'm not going to help
No,
him?
no,
but
no.
This guy
I
has
do the
nothing,
George
so I'm
Clooney.
not going to help them. You just give all your friends the same amount.
yeah, $1 million each. Yeah.
That's fun. Man.
I do a Squid Game.
We do a Squid Game. Come on.
So only
That's
one of them lives?
interesting. Only
Okay,
one
guys,
gets
I got
the
good
money.
news. There's $10 million, but only
You
one of
gotta
you is going to
fight it
live.
out. Yeah.
It's a horrible position to be
No, I would George Clooney it for sure. 100 million, not a problem. Everyone gets $1 million.
100 million.
Yeah.
Everyone gets $1 million.
Yeah. I already have the
And
list.
you could give some.
You already have the list.
You could give some money, and it may not benefit them and do them harm, and you'd learn that lesson.
How many millions would you have to give out?
Me, 10 probably.
10 million.
If I won $100
It's not
million,
that bad if you had 100 mil. I mean,
It's 1%.
nothing.
if
right?
I won
You
$100
wouldn't
million
give away 1% of your
in
wealth.
the lottery, just whatever the Powerball, I would for sure would give you guys $1 million.
That's legally binding. You heard it here first.
Yeah, yes. Would you guys do it if you win the lottery?
First of all, the Powerball is a totally different thing. If you won 250 million US, even after you give Uncle Sam the money, you're fucking flossing.
If you guys won $100 million, would you give me $1 million?
I like your premise.
Neither of us are answering.
Unbelievable!
Yeah, Kamar, yes.
You guys are like got me
Kamar,
the slow roll.
yes. Yeah, if I won 100 million, yeah, I'd give you
100
$1 million, yeah.
Of course, I would give you some doll hairs.
$70 million, I wouldn't expect a thing.
A couple of doll hairs here and there.
They talked about ice baths. I'm going swimming next week.
You're going polar bear swimming?
I'm not sure if polar bear isn't after January. I think it's January.
Oh, it's
1st.
not iced over yet.
It's not, no.
Where are you going swimming?
In Quebec.
Good for you. Good luck with that.
The person who said, do you want to do it, asked me, can you get hypothermia? I was like, yeah.
Of course you
I mean,
can.
if you aren't prepared, but there's a weird thing where right now the water and the air is colder than the water. Mm-hmm. So it sort of feels sort of bearable. It won't be like ice cold.
Why are you doing this?
Heat shock proteins, you fucking pussy.
Yeah. No, it's sort of like just like you do a cleanse by the water, bring on the winter sort of thing.
Who organizes this?
It wasn't an idea till last week.
Mushrooms will be done.
And it was more to get someone's motorcycle somewhere. And while we're up there, do this, and now it's become just this.
Okay. Sure.
It just
We were
jumped-
supposed to move someone's motorcycle and have some gay sex, and now that we're not even moving the motorcycle.
No, but it was like
G-Y sucks.
Wim Hof shit, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Kamar,
but you don't do Wim Hof shit, do you?
Are you saying to me you think what I am planning to do next week is dangerous?
no, like Cam Haines, I don't give a shit what
I
you
think
do.
it could be dangerous.
It won't be. It'll be smelling salts. It'll be Kamaru Usman.
You know what bothers me about you,
Getting,
Kamar,
some
is that
sense into
no
Colby
part
Covington.
do you think to yourself, oh, this may like give me a heart attack.
No.
That's totally possible.
Yeah,
I've
it's true.
gone
You
in
could
my
get cardiac
water
arrest.
at this time of year.
Send your-
I'm not saying it will.
I'm not saying it will either, but it's definitely a possibility.
Okay, but why do you live so cautiously?
I don't think so.
Why do I live so cautiously?
Mm-hmm.
I just like to at least know what the problems could be.
Fair
He
enough.
seems to want to go in like, don't tell me I'm an ostrich. Stick my head in the sand and I won't know
gonna be
until
like,
it's too late and we're, fucking eulogizing him.
No, it's like 15 minutes. That's when you start pushing it.
You know what my favorite part of this episode was? And I wish
It's
someone...
the shock of just jumping in. It's the immediate shock.
I got this.
If you don't have like a strong heart, let's say.
I have a very strong heart.
You
don't
think
know
he's going to
what
go
you
into
have.
shock? Is that what you're saying? He'll be fine. It's not even negative fucking...
It not
feel some of the
shock
greatest shit
like
in my
that.
life.
It shocks
jumping in the
your
water.
heart.
He'll be fine.
Matt, it's like getting a fucking.
Yeah, I couldn't. He can.
You could. You'd be surprised.
I like that Joe was like, masks don't work at all. Even if I was in a plague house, I wouldn't wear a mask. I was like, Joe, I have some fucking news for you, buddy. You would 100%. If I offered him the choice, Joe, everyone in here has the plague. We're going to enter the room. Would you like this paper mask?
Listen,
10 out of 10 times
there
he
was
says
a
yes.
commercial that I saw last night that I hated for vaccination. So I'll tell you about that later. But on this, just to show you that I'm of both minds here. But that mask thing, even in that demonstration, it went all out the side of the mask. If I'm staring at you
Yeah.
and I'm talking and it's only going like this, I'm getting nobody on the sides of me, and Matt is not getting it right in his face. So even by that logic,
Here's my
the
thing.
masks have got to do something.
Yeah, to say they do nothing, I think, is a bit disingenuous. And I listen, you can be anti-mask mandates. I agree with that's
I'm
fine.
done. If we shouldn't have to wear masks now that we're vaccinated. That is a whole other fucking story.
You missed it last night. Someone went to take a photo of one of the fighters. Like, you know how they do the selfies? And Joe was in it. And the guy, leans into Joe to take the photo. And Joe ripped the guy's mask off. And he goes, take that fucking mask off for the photo. I thought it was very interesting. Very interesting. Joe is very anti-mask.
I'm sorry. I just got caught looking at your sweater, man.
They're nice, huh?
so
Champion.
cool.
Thanks.
Yeah,
There was supposed to
saw
be
that on
a
my
crew
profile.
neck for one of you, but it never showed up. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe it's
It's all right. Websites.
I like
website's coming down soon.
yes, yes, it is. Fuck that website.
Is there anything you guys want to do, but you're afraid of failing or succeeding?
Yeah, life.
That's too broad.
Okay, everything
if-
everything involved in life.
Yes, I do all the time with my art.
You want to do an art show. You want to put
I
yourself
mean,
out there.
I don't and I do. You know what I mean?
No,
There's part of me that wants to, and there's part of me that doesn't.
Cam Haynes would tell you to do it.
Kamar, I would rather die a failed comedian than I will die having never tried.
Trying comedy.
Yeah,
So
like
you
a
want-
real try.
You want to give it a.
Yeah, but I won't. It's funny because in this episode they were talking about Joe was like, it's all mindset. You can really do everything. And as someone who quit drinking, I truly believe that. But I can't veer that into other things.
I'm telling you, because the hardest thing is doing something new when you're old.
Yeah, I know.
Having to come in brand new again. But Joe said something interesting. He said, what's important for me is bow hunting is I started from scratch. Mm-hmm. How else do you start anything that you haven't done before?
I mean, I think if you grow up around something having not done it, though,
Okay,
you have a
okay,
leg
yeah,
up,
okay,
maybe,
okay,
right?
okay.
Take golf, Kamar. We have a lot of friends who we thought just became good at golf, which some of them did, but a lot of them had played golf when they were young, stopped playing golf, and then started playing golf again. you
Well,
know?
I was not that person.
Well,
so
neither was I.
I struggled from the get-go.
Oh, me too.
But even then, they started golf from scratch. Do
Yes.
you know where
Everybody
this,
starts from scratch.
where's the saying comes from?
Start from scratch? No, I don't.
Start from scratch. That's very interesting, Kamar. No, I don't know.
Well, I looked it up, and according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary,
Yeah.
it's the line they scratched at the beginning of a race.
Start from the scratch.
Oh,
all
that's
right.
interesting.
That's good.
I like that.
Yeah, because they.
I
wouldn't
like
have
these
had
origins too. That's great.
lines.
Start from
Because
scratch.
There's
Yeah.
a different thing making pasta from scratch. You know what I mean? That's from a little bit of something. Scratch.
No, I think that's the same. That's just starting from the beginning.
Yeah, you're making the pasta as opposed to
nothing,
buying
yeah.
pasta and then just, yeah.
Why is that different?
But like the first time you golfed, you were starting from scratch.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out for you. But for Joe, starting from scratch is the reason why. I just thought it was an obvious statement. Way too much into it. But I wanted to get out that fun fact.
I think as far as the mental thing goes, I think it's easier to give things up than it's easier to start things. Does that make sense?
It's easier to give things up.
Yeah, it's easier. Like, I think it would be easier for someone to quit smoking than it would be for them to start working out.
It physically is easier.
It's easier to quit smoking than to start working out.
Well, because think about it. I just feel like, maybe it's different for everyone, but I feel like when you just give something up, it's not, there's little to no effort there, right? It's just a mind thing where you're just like, I'm not doing this. I'm not partaking, whatever. Whereas, like, if you want to start exercising, you have to physically get your ass up, go do the thing. You know what I mean? You have to really, like, and then you have to do it every fucking day. Whereas giving something up, you also get over a hump.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but you know how great it is, usually, the thing you're trying to give up. So,
Yeah, but, like, you stopped smoking weed for, like, 2 years. You know what I mean? Eventually you got over, okay, 1 year.
year.
Yeah,
sorry.
but you had like a gun to your head. Was it just voluntary? Was it?
no, it was voluntary.
I heard you were
There's no-
I heard you were such a miserable prick for
I
the
was just
entire
a-
year.
I was just angrier, and I started
And you were
drinking
in
more
pain.
immediately. So
Beating your wife. Yeah.
Immediately.
Those are some dark days.
Yeah,
Beating your wife.
yeah. That's no.
So
I wanted to see if I could do it,
yeah, and he did it.
and I did it.
And so you don't
And
ever
now I don't
have
ever have to do it again.
Yeah.
I proved that I was not addicted to
can't be
marijuana,
Look, I'm done. And now I'm back.
and now I'm back for life, baby.
I guess the one thing, and I took him very seriously, is Cam Haines expressed that he has a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to kill one of those bighorn sheep.
Yeah.
And we got one already. Like, come on out, Cammy.
Come see ours.
Welcome
yeah.
to the party. Let us know when you get here.
Ours is wearing a mask, too.
That's what it is, though, eh? I think it might be one of the ones that, because that's almost like a Dodge Ram. Mm-hmm. Oh, they can't see it.
No.
Oh, I just...
Well, you can kind of see it in the corner, but I always
There's a big horn
I usually
sheep,
cut it out.
But I generally thought if he doesn't get it, like it means a lot to him.
For 3 people that don't hunt, we
Well,
do have a lot of
I
taxidermy
hope
in here.
Cam Haines gets his bighorn sheep. Then that's.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm gonna think
he gives
only
himself
good
slim
thoughts.
odds.
nothing against him. And on this one, Joe declared he was born to do this.
Yeah.
Podcast that is.
Yeah. I feel like I was born to do this. It's just easy for me.
And Cam Hammond was like, "You were born to do this." They
I mean,
just had
listen,
a real self-affirmation.
Given his success,
moment.
it's tough to argue against, right?
And the way it happened
Yeah.
and everything, you
So
would
you-
think there's
yeah.
definitely some fucking kismet or fate
That's it. You
involved in this one.
Yeah, you can't hate on it.
It's not his fault.
Joe was meant
Born
to
to
do
do
this.
Yeah.
And then he talked about a lot of fighting.
Yeah,
rated
shitty,
boys.
Shitty fighting.
I give it a 1.
I also give
And
it.
Cam Haines is a great guy. Joe Rogan, great guy. This was a lot of hunting, fighting, and dick sucking.
I just didn't want to listen to it, but I give it a 2. I can't go lower.
I'm
than
trying to think if there were any like.
I'm
good-
wondering if my bad day at football while listening to this made it even worse.
Were there any good hunting stories? Bears, Bigfoot, anything? No.
No,
right?
no,
it
no.
wasn't.
No.
Oh, there's bears. They talked about everything.
What do you
they
rate it,
didn't
Simon? What
Have
do you
any,
give it?
like bears
They
attacking?
talked about
them
cat
or-
attacks and shooting the cats and the hunting the bears and didn't know they could move that fast. And
If I spent a lot of time in the woods,
Mm-hmm.
like if I'm gonna be moving out to the woods, hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm definitely gonna get a sidearm license.
why not just a bow and arrow? Get real. Start
No,
from
I
scratch.
would also get a sidearm
Definitely
license.
not. I'm not doing archery.
Simon, I've been driving around Stittsville and the surrounding like Almont area and stuff. Dude, there's some fucking houses out there
Yeah,
that
they're
are
so expensive.
absolutely fucking bananas.
Yeah,
On huge plots of
I
land.
wish I had that kind of money.
How expensive are they? What are you talking about?
They're,
They have to be
there's
cheaper than living in
really-
the city.
You're not talking about bridle
Almont
path. You're
is
talking about
so
local
expensive.
big houses.
No, I'm talking about like outside Ottawa, like way outside. Like not Manotick is expensive.
So expensive. So is Almont. Anyways, it doesn't matter. This
Either way,
is
Stittsville.
inside baseball.
Stay tuned for the post show where we'll get into this.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's an episode. Wow. I forgot. We did it. We made it. Season 3. We're fucking here. You can get this sweater that I'm wearing, this fucking sweet ass sweater, Actually, this is one of the champion ones. You can only get this if you live in North America. I'm really sorry. I tried. I don't know what I'm doing with this fucking shipping. They didn't offer it anywhere else, so my bad.
I'm gonna try to distress this shirt.
Just wash it once or twice. It should be good.
No, but even like a little razor blade action, make it look like it's been around for 20 years.
Oh, okay.
Wash with rocks.
Glad we spent that money. Yeah, the website, wearenotjoerogan.com. If you want some sweet-ass merch, you don't have long because I hate this fucking website. So if you want to get some merch, now's probably the time. Can't imagine it lasting after December. Unless Simon comes out with some sweet fucking designs.
I'm going to try, man.
We know he's not going to.
I've got designs.
You're not a designer.
But I've got designs.
Yeah, but they're not the right file. They're not the right... There's a lot...
Just let me know the file. I'll get you the designs.
Okay, wonderful. We have an Insta and a Twitter. It's at JREE Podcast. You can follow Kamar on Instagram.
At Kamar Bar.
Follow me on Instagram at Floydy, Floyd with 5 E's. There's a subreddit. It's r/JREE Podcast. If you want to chat, argue, whatever, give us your opinions, this, that, and the next. The YouTube, if you want to watch the show. My computer's it's kind of working.
It's back, baby.
Coming back hard.
I don't know if I'd go that far. Either way, it's youtube.com/JREE Podcast if you want to see how douchey we look, according to one YouTuber.
Douchey?
Yeah, he said, you guys look way douchier than you sound. So,
But the Rogan ears fucking jumped down his throat, man.
yeah, we had someone come to our defense.
Rogan ears?
That's a horrible. I hate that I said that. It must have been barbarians.
Must have been. No one likes me. And then the Patreon.
Floydians.
If you want to support the show, you can do so.
Monians.
You can do so for as little as $5 a month. Head over to patreon.com/JREE Podcast.
Is that what you said?
I'm selling some here. Sorry. Patreon.com/JREE Podcast. If you want to support the show, you can do so for as little as $5 a month. For that $5, you will get the post show. It's the show after the show where you shoot the shit. And you'll also get the backlog of old episodes of This One Age Well. Someone said they want some of those. Should we maybe do once every quarter?
Bring back This One on Age Well.
Yeah, just a few here and there. Not like we were doing it, like not 3 a month, but maybe 1 a month.
It would have to be listener suggestion, and we would have to know we didn't do it already.
Well, yeah, of course. We're not redoing one. What a weird fucking statement.
That's my only.
Those are the only criteria Kamar has. Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, I'm just saying it doesn't have to. We don't have to guarantee, but once in a while it would be nice. Simon seems pained by this whole thing.
No, I'm pained by Kamar's criteria. Anyways.
Anyway, that's a show. Don't forget, wearejoerogan.com. If you want a T-shirt, a hoodie.
We are not Joe Rogan.
Sorry, yes, we are not joerogan.com. Get yourself a fucking sweet journal, maybe a mug. No, those are only available in North America too. Just get a fucking T-shirt so that I can shut this thing down. That's it. We made it. We hope you are staying safe out there. We hope you have a great week. Enjoy your weekend. Oh, and if you're a service member, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Happy, what is it? I guess it's Veterans Day in the States. Remember and stay here. Have a great weekend, as usual.
Keep your eyes open.